Well, hello there, Beans. How are you doing today, my little hordy boys? My little hordy hordes? Anyway, hello. It's me. I'm here. You're here. It's time to begin. Oh, I don't have everything open. I don't have all the things open that I need. Okay, I need that, and I need this, and then it goes there. Okay, perfect. Cool. Yes, if everything would load, that would be great. Anyway, what's up? Hello. A couple people over in the YouTube chat. There is Eric, who has never made it here while the coming soon thing is still up. That is very exciting. You can be here for as much of the stream as possible. What's up, Ken? Made it home just in time for the stream, so that's awesome. And Tea Leaves, hello. Steph says, I'm curious, in the way that we all hit like on the stream at the same time to boost it, would it be helpful to unlike and then re-like the stream if we had liked already? You know, I don't know. That's a question that I have never sought to answer before. So, who knows? Hello, Gayfesh, welcome in. Junebug, we got Mama Mephistopheles, there's Andy's Mints. Hello, Shade. Analia, hello, we got Trout Dealer. What did you say earlier? Luxander stream starts. I have been up too long. Uh-oh. Whoa. And there's Baphomet, hello. There's Mersh, what is up? Jellyby and Dank Catlord. Damn, there's so many people in here. I have given the like button a spanking. Give it a thorough spanking. Silent strolls into the chat boobily. Breasting boobily. Quarbarian, was it you who sent the puzzle? Because it's really, really good. Thank you, Nuvenal. Yeah, I'm just wearing my muscle shirt for you again today. You know, I figured you might enjoy the guns. Anyway, even though I think this is the same shirt that I wore last time, you know, that's okay though. Yes, thank you. Quarbarian got me like the best puzzle on my Amazon wish list. It was a puzzle, a jigsaw puzzle of a dragon, and it's got like so many parts of the puzzle that are kind of the same color. I don't want to do a fucking puzzle of a blank blue sky, okay? But I like puzzles that are challenging in that regard, where they have like little like areas of the puzzle where there's not like a lot of detail, because otherwise it's like pretty easy to figure out. Muscly NB, muscly boy, boom. You know, there is a difference. I took some pictures last week. I was thinking about maybe I would post them on Fansly. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. My safe for work Fansly. Could also be a place where I post like progress pics for my muscles. And so I took some pics like the first week of March, and then I took some more pictures this past week wearing the same sports bra. So I think that maybe I need to get more sports bras like so that my pictures are more clearly delineated from one occasion to the other, because otherwise you could mistake it as like the same picture like on the same day basically. But with the way that the lighting in my bathroom is and everything, the most obvious difference is on this arm in the pictures that I took between last month and this month. So hey, we have progress occurring that's visible in the mirror. So there's something. Come to Luxander's channel for fitness tips. Not really. I can only tell you what I'm doing. Lux strong, swole dragon. Boof, boof. You know what's really exciting is that I'm gonna get so much heavier. Like, that's like an exciting thing to me. I'm like, I'm gonna put on weight. I have the calorie app tracker, and I'm trying to like get a surplus of calories every day so that I can actually gain muscles. And yeah, so I'm gonna get big. Swole. Steel dragon. Ooh. Yeah. Hefty. Exactly, Quantum Cactus. What's up, Adrian? I feel like I could get so much more progress in my transition if my disposition wasn't constantly like, why do I have a body? I enjoy embodiment, I have to say. As just, compared to dissociation, I love embodiment. It feels amazing. Being grounded, oh man, it feels awesome. And that's just me personally. I cannot wish that upon anyone, per se, but it is what I would recommend. Swole is when muscles happen, and the more muscles there is, the more swole it are. It true. I'm going to be so big. it's the top part that I'm excited about, you know? I just feel like we should be honest about the fact that when we work out, a lot of us, are not doing it primarily to be strong. We're doing it primarily because we want to change the way that we look. Everyone's thinking it. I'm just saying it. Pirates. I'm just being honest. And hopefully, I just want to encourage everyone to get to their optimal selves. Whatever the fuck that means to you. You can do it. I'm fidgeting so much with this hair tie, but I don't want to put my hair up because I left it in like a weird kind of bun last night and it made it all curly and it looks kind of cool and I want to leave it. I misread that as musicals and was like, how? Anyhow, so today, we've got a few things on the docket for the stream. We usually do this chill thing beforehand and we can kind of catch up. What have you been doing this week? What have I been doing this week? I look happier today. Yeah, I was experiencing a hormonal fluctuation earlier in the week on account of having my IUD removed, and I think that that's kind of leveled out a little bit, which is good. And I continued working out even though I felt like shit. I'm having my younger siblings over this weekend, so I'm getting excited for that. I'm getting cleaned, the apartment, getting the house, like, cleaned up. And, I'm gonna be hosting 2 young adults in my space over the next several days, so exciting. Yeah, working out helps with the head gremlins. It's super weird. Like, everybody always says, working out, it's supposed to make you feel better. Like, it's recommended. And it doesn't always start working out at first. And I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say that I'm not even sure. I don't think that moderate exercise is necessarily as effective. Like, I think you need to be pushing some kind of limitation in order to get the benefit. Because here's the thing. I've done like walks before, I've been on a thing where I'm like basically every day I'm going for like an hour-long walk, I've done that. And then more recently, I was doing calisthenics every day, which was like using my own body weight and usually not going to failure, I would say. I think that I was probably stopping long before I got to like the failure point of like muscles not being able to function. So I wasn't really pushing myself at doing any of those things. And then when I started weightlifting, I started weightlifting the first week of March this year, and within a few weeks of going 4 times a week, I started doing cardio the first week, and then I realized that I was gonna it was gonna fuck up my whole trying to gain weight thing if I was doing cardio all the time. Like, it's just, I would be burning too much calories. Compared to how much I'm able to eat in a day. So I, after weightlifting for a few weeks, the just feeling fine about shit that I normally would be really, really annoyed about, my emotional regulation is not perfect or anything, but I just like feel so much better. And so I think that it's not just exercising in general, but I think that you do need to be sort of pushing your limits in some way. So, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to do weightlifting, although you could, but rather that, if you're going to do cardio, I recommend like actually running if you can, or like pacing your walk as high as you can. I just think that there is like a chemical difference between those things based on my personal experience. I'm really curious if there's any research on that, but I don't know. I exercised diligently for 6 years, weight, cardio. I had a trainer 3 times a week. I never once felt good about it. In fact, I was in pain more. I had to go to the massage therapist every week. I need to find a good balance or walk up an incline. Walking up an incline is better cardio for folks who can't run. Yeah, that's a good call too. I'm definitely experiencing like physical pain, of course, from working out my muscles. And like I have an injury in my lower back from fucking it up doing a deadlift a few years ago, and that has been like aggravated this week because one of the exercises that I'm doing is a type of deadlift. It's like a variation on the deadlift that's supposed to be easier and like less likely to injure myself, but it is still kind of dealing with those same muscle groups, so I'm having some lower back pain this week. But yeah, I just actually enjoy it and it's working out for me. I don't know, maybe you have like a connective tissue disorder or something, Evie, that can make it so that your muscles don't like properly heal and things. Don't know. Maybe swimming could be good for you. Ooh, swimming. I feel like being consistent with the same amount of exercise is really hard for me. It seems really daunting to keep upping what I do every time. Yeah. It's, you know, it's easy to up it, like, if you're doing it consistently. But I also think that giving yourself some variety is a good idea. So I think that part of what keeps me engaged is that I do arms day. Like, I do upper body, arms, chest, shoulders, and then on the second day, I do lower body, like legs, glutes, and yeah, that kind of like introduces some variety. And I'm always excited about arms. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Arms day is the day that I'm excited about at the gym. And legs day is like, all right, I'm gonna do legs day. I'm gonna sweat it out because something about doing legs day just really makes me get sweaty. And like, I think it's because you're doing a more full body movement, usually like lunges, squats, you know, it's a more full body thing rather than arms, shoulders. You know, you're not really involving your lower body as much as you're involving your upper body in lower activities. Excuse me. I was excited about leg day. I could really lift on leg day. I've never used a weightlifting belt, no. I need to grab some water, really fast, because I don't have any. I will be right back. Ugh. Water. I am not doing any yoga right now. I'm just kind of like stretching during and after my workout a little bit. I mean, yoga like is calisthenics to some extent. I guess I could do yogas that are more stretching oriented. I enjoyed swimming when I was burned out and too tired or in pain for other stuff. How many days do you work out? I work out 4 days a week. I do arms and then legs and then a rest day and then arms and then legs and then 2 rest days. And that keeps going. Since you have the lower back injury, the belt may be helpful. Yeah, I use good form. Like, I focus on good form a lot. You know, that's part of... I've chosen the exercises that I've chosen because they're also going to work out my core. Like, they're going to require balance as well, so they're more well-rounded, which is going to help with, like, stability and keeping good form in general. But I am not going to speak to anyone in the gym. Like, I'm not going to have anyone in the gym look at me or talk to me. I'm not there for a good time. I saw someone I knew at the gym recently, and I was like, wow, I hate this. I mean, it was fine. He's a friend of mine. I just was not expecting to see anyone that I knew. And I was like, oh, this fucking sucks, actually. Yeah, walk into the gym like, I do not have pronouns. Do not refer to me. There's a lot of personal anecdotes which suggest that a certain pro wrestler's yoga program is pretty good at helping reduce pain related to pro wrestler injuries. Is it Stephanie Sterling? Oops. Wisconsin? Yeah, Wisconsin. Yeah, we do, we'll talk about the big win in a little bit here. There's actually several things we have on the list today. I can concur with the exercise thing. Been doing it since June 2021 and lost 50 pounds, so I feel a lot better. That's good to hear, Mr. Democracy. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm trying to gain weight and gain muscle. Did you hear about the Kanye controversy? No, I didn't. I really do need to watch Kanye videos and like maybe hang out in Kanye's chat sometimes because I don't know them very well, but everybody always says that we should collab, so we should probably get to know them. Kanye is from New Jersey. Is that the whole controversy? Canceled. I'm sorry. Canceled. I'm usually the only one with a Y chromosome in the kickboxing classes at my gym, and that makes it so much less judgy. I go to a gym that is, you know, it's, I don't know, it's not like a big gym. It's fine. I have like a long-term membership there, so yeah. I can't keep track of all these insane controversies anymore. I really do try. I mean, honestly, so I think that was a joke. Mama was joking about Kanye being, like, it was just a rag on Kanye for being from New Jersey. But yeah, I have not even been trying to keep track of all the news recently. I'm kind of like, I'm spending less time doing the, like, research and curation part of my job. Hello, Peanut Butter Blondie. Hello, I think, yes, you and Kanye would have an interesting convo. That's cool. I need to get to know them more. Like, basically, you know, I got a couple of comments about on the most recent video that I uploaded to the channel, which was about mommies fighting. Abigail and Natalie Wynn and Brianna Wu. I did not mention Brianna Wu at all in the video. You know, having that disagreement about gender dysphoria. Hello, Guitar Rocker. Hello, yes. Just came from the surfs. Nice. I haven't hung out with Lance's stream in a while either. I've been on Lance's show before in like a group environment situation. But yes, people mentioned Kanye in the comments on my video about gender dysphoria and Philosophy Tube's positions on that. So apparently we had very similar opinions on those things. Similar vibes / takes. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. So I would be friends with Kanye is what you're saying. I need to become friends with Kanye. I will invade the entire leftist community. I just want to be friends with everybody is really what it comes down to. I mean, not everybody. Obviously, I don't want to be friends with Nazis, but yes, I want to actually talk to people more and do more stuff. I just am terrible at it. Hold on, I gotta change the angle of one of my lights here. Dude, you are blinding me. Just blinding me out of the corner of my eye. Just such strong LEDs, just right in my eyeballs. What beer do I have tonight? Tonight I have a Dirty Bastard from Founders. I think that maybe I need to drink a different kind of beer, because this one makes me very tired, but whatever. We can be friends? Yes. We are parasocial friends here. Be a lot easier if you lived in Seattle. Yeah, true. There's a big content creator community, and sometimes we're social and hang out. I know. I want to live there. I just can't for a couple years now. Lovely curls tonight. Thank you. Yeah, I just went to sleep with my hair in like a funny little bun, and I woke up and it was like, wow. My take on gender dysphoria is simple. It's real, but I don't think it should be used to gatekeep hormone therapy for anyone 18 or older. For minors, it should be carefully monitored by medical professionals. I mean, it's like, there was some conversation in the Discord about this. Last night, I saw we have a discourse channel in the Discord server where there was some discussion about this happening last night. And some folks were saying that, like, someone said, quote unquote, that gender identity dysphoria is not real, while they were arguing that gender dysphoria is real. And I'm like, yo, it's the same fucking thing. Like, the way that Philosophy Tube put it in the video, the way that Abigail put it in her video was that it's basically mad tranny disease. And it is that. So, I called into the Takis today, so I'm basically a big-time streamer now. Yeah. Is that... Oh my god, Transatlantic Call-In Show? That's Katie Montgomery. Yeah. I still need to get in touch with Jimmy about that. We've talked about it multiple times about potentially having me on that show, and I just have never pulled the trigger and been like, yeah, I'm gonna do it too. So maybe I should insist on that soon. Sometimes discernment over what is insane controversy and current news is difficult at the time some news comes out, and I'm of the opinion that there's some overlap. Right. You know, it actually turns out, this is kind of an unrelated observation, but it turns out that what's good for the channel is silly drama stuff and shit that doesn't matter. Like, we talk about Nazis and stuff and the channel, and like it doesn't do very well. And then we talk about like gender dysphoria is fake, you know, and it gets like 4,000 views, you know, which I don't mind, I guess. It means that I don't have to do as much serious political analysis. Like, it means that I'm allowed to do silly bullshit more, and it's actually going to be good for the channel. So I'm not saying I'm going to stop doing political stuff, but I mean, it's fucking exhausting anyway. So it's just a good excuse all around to have some less serious drama coverage. We love drama coverage. Kid Rock really was shooting Bud Light cans because of Dylan Mulvaney. Oh, God. I mean, God bless her. I fucking wish that advertisers wanted to just put me in their advertisements because I'm trans. You know? That would be a fucking dream come true. I mean, it's easy money. Can you imagine how much money she is making right now? She is probably making so much money. She did Bud Light. She's got Nike. I'm pretty sure that she had her facial feminization surgery, like, paid for. I want to be successful in media, which is the job that I have. That's actually so cool. Man. Oh, yes, we have the Kid Rock thing. I have so many fucking tabs open right now. It's frustrating to me. Oh my god, this dude is so old. Why are you so old, Kid Rock? Jesus Christ. Trans milk carton kid of today. Uh-oh. Okay, let's...
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today.
Oh my god, this is embarrassing.
Let me say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible.
Oh, it's even more cringe than I thought it was gonna be. Oh no.
Fuck Bud Light and fuck Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
Oh wow. I thought that he was gonna at least like, I kind of assumed that it was gonna be like a handgun, pop, 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 but it's even more cringe than that. Like, that would have been respectable. That would have almost been a little bit cool if he had like individually shot some cans. That would have been much more impressive than just like shooting with like a machine gun. Like, that's so embarrassing. He's not Kid Rock anymore. He's Boomer Rock. True. What is it about Dylan in particular that drives conservatives so insane? It's so weird to me that she gets so much of their focus when, no offense to her, she's just a performer. It's because she's happy. Like, it's because she blew up in the first place because she was doing these, like, funny, silly, unserious videos about, like, day 100 of being a woman. I went to the mall and I tried on some shoes. Like, you know, and people took it as, like, her taking the piss or whatnot. But I think that it's just that she was unashamedly finding joy in it. And conservatives fucking hate that so much. Like, they hate it so much, which I think is a good excuse for us to just do it more. I think I need to pull up, hold on. Because now that I'm deep into this, I think that I want to actually put this on the channel. So I need to do a section showing actually what the fuck we're talking about. Yeah, so Dylan Mulvaney, who we've talked about on the channel before, she got a Bud Light sponsorship, partnership, and also a Nike one, which I saw that Glinner was talking about. But yeah, just to show you really quickly, Bud Light partnership with trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney prompts right-wing backlash. She just, I think I saw one video where she was like in the bathtub. Are we gonna watch this with sound? Impressive. Oh god, is there sound? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me
Yeah, she's like referencing the thing that she got famous for was like day 50 of being a woman, day 70 of being a woman. Like, just every day, basically a different funny video like that.
Possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya! Cheers! Go team! Whatever team you love, I love too. Okay.
Okay. I love that so much. Like, there were parts of that you could tell, you could feel were scripted, but there were some bits where it felt pretty authentic, where it's like her own personal little flavor, like whatever team that is, you know, that very trans gay moment of like, I don't really know anything about your sports stuff. Like, you know, obviously there are sports gays. I don't understand them, but more power to you. But yeah, so she got a little bit of a deal. And then Kid Rock had an opinion about it, so there's that. But yeah, I think fundamentally it's that they can't tolerate trans joy. You know, she is just a relentlessly positive person. Like, I don't even know if I could handle being around her on a regular basis because she's just so relentlessly positive. You know, we appreciate it though, because I think we need more people to lay claim to trans joy and focusing on gender euphoria and, you know, using that visibility to shift the conversation away from painful things, like away from difficulties and things like this. Maybe I'm a sourpuss, but when I see this, I'm like, that's just rainbow capitalism. And then the conservatives crying, and I'm like, over what? This is nothing for us. Yeah, I'm not going to say that this is revolutionary, for sure. I think it's indicative that the popular opinion is swinging toward trans acceptance, because at the same time that all of these laws are being passed against trans people, we have companies seemingly taking the stance that they're going to choose to support trans people, and I guess they think that that's going to be the thing that's going to make them money. Although, of course, the interesting thing to look at from that point is going to be, are any of these corporations like covertly sponsoring Republican candidates and stuff who are still voting against us? Because obviously they could be, you know, speaking out of one side of their mouth and then the other. They could be like, oh yeah, we support trans rights. We want to put gay characters in our movies. And at the same time, they could be potentially contributing to the negative situation, legally speaking, with their financial support. Oh my gosh, excuse me. My legs. So for that reason, I think it's kind of encouraging, I guess, to see folks like Dylan Mulvaney getting a lot of mainstream work. But it also is outrage marketing to an extent. Conservatives, you know, he shot up a bunch of fucking Bud Lights that he bought at some point, presumably. Did you buy it specifically to shoot them up because you just like supported their money, like you supported their company with your money, and it's just drumming up a lot of free advertisement. So honestly, it's like the one good thing that Peter Coffin gave me was the awareness toward outrage marketing. Just a thought, but I feel like it's shunning social acceptance of trans joy more than just the existence of it. Yeah, I mean, I think both of those things are problematic to the conservative worldview, but that, yeah, perhaps the backlash wouldn't be so prevalent if it weren't for the fact that she also has, like, she had a kind of audience about it. I don't know. I live near a Coors factory, and I can tell you that they have a number of queer people working for them at any given time. That's probably having an influence on them. Budweiser has a factory in my state, too. Same deal, we're working everywhere. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't actually know if they would care enough about the people working for their companies. I don't know. But yeah, maybe you should go out and buy some Bud Light. I don't know. I don't think it's going to help anybody, but if you want to make a statement, I suppose you could. I think it's funny how the right threw a hissy fit over trans people pointing out Hogwarts Legacy was funding bigotry and saying boycotts don't work, and then they do this whole crybaby routine. Not like it's the first time either. It's so weird, because usually conservatives are destroying a thing that they already own. Like, they'll destroy their own Keurig machine, or they'll destroy their own Nike shoes that they already spent money on. Or sometimes they'll even buy a thing in order to destroy it. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But yes, I mean, it is funny that they then turn around after doing ridiculous things like that, and they look at us and go, oh, you know, boycotts don't do anything. And like, meanwhile, hold on. This is a totally separate thing. Oh, I thought there was something more recent. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is... Oh, wait. Is this something from previously? Because I thought that there was more recent news about her sales being down. I don't want to disable the ad blocker. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this was not what I thought it was. Hello, Violet. Hello. They might be such alcoholics that any Bud Light they bought before the ad campaign didn't last long enough for them to destroy after it came out. True enough. Holy shit, I didn't realize that there were almost 50 people here. I'm sitting here not even paying attention to the metrics. You should hit like on the video if you haven't already. Oh my gosh. It always immediately helps the stream. It's free for you. Wowee. I'm also trying to get to a point where I'm making like roughly $300 a week in donos, so if you could help get to the dono goal of $50 today, that would be cool, but if not, that's fine too. My show is free, bitches! Free show. I should really put this in my stream notes really fast. Trying to stay organized, y'all. It's difficult. Okay, that's not the right one. Is it this one? Okay, that's the right one. Okay, yep. We've had several chill streams, so I just have several, I just need to, like, I need some content for the channel. Kid Rock, Dylan, Mulvaney, Bud Light. Okay. Now I know what I did my notes on. Okay, cool. We made it. Boycotts of corporations generally don't do anything because they're worth millions and billions anyway. And they also, you know, if the same corporation produces the brand name and the generic, then what are you doing? Like, buying the generic is not going to help do anything. Like, what are you going to... Realistic... And not only that, but the brands are often owned... If you trace the lineages of the corporations back far enough, they go back far enough and, like, oh, you find out that they're owned by, like, the same fucking couple of people. Like, all right, great. So, literally, when it comes to... Oh, God, what are they called? Like, commodity items? Like, is that what you refer to? Is that how you refer to items that you absolutely, like, need? Like, whatever. Like, stuff that you need, stuff that people are going to buy. Like, people are going to buy clothes. People are going to buy food. As opposed to, like, luxury items, which are things that you don't really need, you know? Necessities? Yeah, that's probably the right word for it. Essentials, also a good word for it. I saw the one vid where the guy empties out his garage fridge and workshop fridge of Bud Light, and all in all, it had to be like 100 beers at least. I'm like, damn, this man needs help. True. One day, everything truly will be owned by AOL, Time Warner, PepsiCo, Viacom, Halliburton, Skynet, Toyota, Trader Joe's. Yeah. I don't think I've ever said that before, but I caught the reference, and we love BoJack here. We're a big fan of BoJack Horseman here. The bare necessities. Oh no, you got me fucked up on Disney now. Anyway, good grief, y'all. What are my actual notes about today? I'm sure I had it written down somewhere. Okay, this doesn't need to be open. I got too many tabs, too many tabs, too many tabs, too many tabs. Disney karaoke? No, I don't want to get got by the algorithm. For sure. Chadwick Boseman? Yes. Chadwick Boseman? I finished BoJack a few weeks ago. It was alright. Listen, I thought I like it a lot, and I think that it's better on rewatch. Like, you know, you start to see how a lot of the writing is like, oh, you can tell that this was actually set up way before. Like, that didn't just happen in the story. That was clearly established in, like, season 1 or whatever. I don't know. Did you see the bad news from the Biden administration? I did. It's on my list. Yes. Hello, Prosy Rosie. Is Toucan and Birdie any good? I do not know. What happened with Biden? Ugh. Yeah, there's bad news. Do we want to go into it? Or do we want to wait? I don't know. It's fucking 6:15. Ah! Am I gonna need a consolation pizza? I don't think it's that bad. I don't think you're gonna need a consolation pizza. Did he fall down? We fucking wish. Actually, I don't know if that would be good. Okay, so hold on. Let me get my links. There's nothing wrong with him. God damn it. Fucking Washington Post. Son of a bitch. Let me read the article, please. I just want to read the article. Okay, maybe I just gotta find a different one. You ever think that Biden gets a blowjob and calls it a sloppy Joe? I just don't want to imagine him asking for a blowjob. Like, you know, that's the only situation where I can imagine those words being uttered, is if he says, like, hey, Jill, can I get a sloppy Joe? And that's like, I'm not doing an impression of him because that would be horrendous. Hello, Paul Hack. I'm trying not to imagine anything at all about that. Yeah, you do. You're choosing chaos today. Goodness. Okay. Do it. So we have some news from the Biden administration, and depending on how you spin it, you could see it as good news or you could see it as bad news. Personally, I think that it's not good news. What's up, Morningstar System? My brain has not been functioning at all, so that thought cannot enter my brain. I'm glad that you're immune. This is a dirty bastard from Founders. Okay. In the midst of all of this nonsense happening across the country with anti-trans healthcare bills and rights being limited and families being threatened with child kidnapping from the state, you know, like, it's getting to be a little bit insane. So why? Tell me why Biden's response, like Biden's administration's response to this, is to weigh in on the trans athlete ban of all things. And like, yes, I live in Kansas. We literally just like today had a law pass, and like we're so fucked. Like we have a Democratic governor, but they've just proven with this we have a Democratic governor, but they've just proven with this sports ban that they are going to be able to override her veto. So I'm fucked in Kansas. It's not good. That aside, it's not okay to enforce genital inspections as like part of the being in sports as a child thing, but that's kind of what they're doing. It's not great. And so, yeah, I guess on some level, it could be seen as appropriate to try to address that issue. Yeah, ban sports entirely. Right. But what the Biden administration has done is they've proposed Title IX rules, which would give schools flexibility for, quote, fairness in competition, or for the possibility that participation could lead to injury. Like with regards to trans students, they're trying to propose a rule that's going to forbid schools from enacting outright bans on trans athletes from teams consistent with their gender identity, but offering flexibility for, quote, fairness and other such exceptions that are likely to apply at the highest levels of competition. So essentially, they're saying maybe if you're 8 years old and you're playing on the school fucking soccer team or something, then yeah, that you can play on that. But once you get to like varsity level sports, once you're getting to junior and senior level in high school or in colleges, they're saying like, we are going to allow you all to on your own decide, like at each school, each institution, whether they're going to allow trans people to participate. And, you know, we've talked in the past, I'll put a link up here if I remember to put a link in the cards. There's or is it over here? I can't remember which side it is. Anyway, there was an article that we read a while back about the fact that if you look at the differences between men and women in sports, the main difference in their performance is the fact that women's sports are dramatically underfunded. Like men's sports, they get better coaches, they get better training equipment, and there's just more money pumped into it. So if you were to treat them as equal or integrate them, God forbid, then you would have much more consistency of outcomes between the two groups. And obviously we would have seen this bear out at the Olympic level. Like someone in the YouTube chat was talking about, like, it would be better if they just used the rules the Olympics have. Yeah, the Olympics has had rules about the amount of testosterone you're allowed to have in your body as a trans woman participating in the sport. And lo and behold, it's been 17 goddamn years, and there is not an overwhelming amount of trans women defeating cis women, like completely boxing out women's sports. Yeah, OMG, what if women are not actually overwhelmingly inferior to men? it's so sad to me how one of the fundamental things about this argument is that almost all cis women across the entire planet have been convinced that the only way that they're able to win in sports is because they have their own cute little protected category, and that the actual reason that they have a protected category is just because if they were to compete against the men, they would be able to win, and that would challenge male supremacy. Like, they've fully bought in. They fully have drank the Kool-Aid on this. And it's just super sad. So disappointing. The primary difference between cis women and trans women is average height, but our height is well within the ranges of female athletes. Right, like just integrate the sports, and then in the cases where it matters, separate them by weight and height class if you need to. Like, if height confers a major benefit in a sport, then sure, distribute it by, like, make, like, height and weight differences, but just integrate it. On Star Talk, there was actually a study showing cisgender women are much better in gymnastics than all other groups. Yeah, it's like something about like the proportions, perhaps, or like the flexibility, perhaps, that estrogen provides to the body. I could see that for sure. I mean, another thing that I've seen is that the big difference, I mean, it's not even a big difference, but generally speaking, you will see that cis men, are winning over cis women in sports that require a heavy amount of exertion in a short period of time, whereas women tend to win in cases where endurance matters. So marathons and long-term endurance kind of things, we might see some differences in those specific areas. Like, women might generally not be as competitive in some ways, but they are more competitive in other ways. Like, I mean, because body differences. Isn't the ideal gymnastic body like a 14-year-old girl? I don't know. That sounds terrible, though, doesn't it? Like, what a weird sport that we've created that is optimized for 14-year-old girls. Additionally, if you follow a statistical analysis of what happens to a trans woman's performance, for example, a swimmer like Leah Thomas, you can see that on an individual basis, performance loss can be more drastic than the differences between the records set in either gender for the same competition. So, like, yeah, for trans women taking estrogen and testosterone blockers, the difference in their performance can be rather drastic, like bigger than the difference in top winning performance in either gendered category. Femme-presenting people are shamed for having too much muscle tone so bad. Honestly, I kind of think that that's starting to shift a little bit, but that's neither here nor there right this second. My ex's niece was in gymnastics and was looking at what it would take to compete at the Olympics, and she was like 8 when I first met her. People who are into gymnastics are very serious about this. Has this ever affected you, Lux, or were you not a sporty kid? Excellent question. I appreciate the personal lore moment. I did not have to deal with gender segregation issues when I was a young warthog, but I did play sports. You know, this is one of those fun things where you kind of have to lie to people if you're trying to be stealth. Like, I played softball when I was younger, but I have definitely told people, I have outright lied and said, like, oh yeah, I used to play baseball. Yeah, like, my mom got me into baseball in the summers, and, you know, and then, which means that I wasn't able to talk about the fact that I did volleyball. A lot of this shit I did because my mom was really insisting on getting me into sports. I had something every fucking day of the week. She had me in something, which, like, to some extent I appreciate, but also, like, holy fucking God, it was so annoying at the time. So I Yeah, over the course of my childhood, I did softball, volleyball, track and field. I did like karate, you know, like martial arts. Is that more or less it for sports? I guess that accounts for like a significant portion of the year if you're only doing... I did not do basketball. That would have been the other thing that I would have had access to. Obviously, I couldn't play football. I just realized that my city has a gymnastics place in the mall for kids only. No! I think there's a gymnastics gym not too far from me, but I haven't been there in a long time. I went there once. Having had exercise phases before and after transition, I can say testosterone is definitely a crutch. She lost more than 30 seconds from her time. Holy shit. The difference between the records is like 15 seconds. Wow. What a significant drop. Trans sports has more people defending separate but equal than I've ever seen in my life. Truly disturbing how many people think separate but equal is ever going to be equal or good. I don't really understand it either. Like, I really don't understand how you can be so convinced. But I mean, I guess it's the same thing. People used to be convinced that there were major, like, biological differences between white people and black people that justified keeping black people separate in society. And they just as much thought like, oh, well, yeah, it's clear. It's clearly a matter of fact. Like, clearly questioning black women's womanhood is fine because look at how much they look like men, like not acknowledging that like femininity and masculinity are just different when you have different facial structures. Yeah, some people are just more equal than others. No worries. No worries. Anyway, sports. Oh my gosh. But kind of coming back to Biden taking this position, like, he's managed to piss off everybody involved, I think, because of the fact that this preserves the ability for less competitive, or realistically what that means is like younger students to participate in sports. He's pissed off the conservatives with that, and then allowing that certain instances of competitive sports, meaning like sports where scholarships and stuff are going to be involved, you know, limiting those is going to piss off a huge portion of the liberals. So it's like in the midst of all of this anti-trans rhetoric, all of this like actually losing our access to fucking healthcare, our children being threatened, like our children losing access to healthcare, coming out and doing something like this, which pisses off everybody and is still fundamentally transphobic and like still fundamentally is not following the science and evidence on these issues. I just don't get it. Like, it's so insulting. I don't understand what the point of this is, which is why it's so maddening. Like, it's why I'm so angry about it. And it's like, I just don't get why you would do this right now. It literally would have been better if you had just stayed out of it completely. I think this is a way to get women out of sports too. They don't want women playing sports. Women's rights are under attack by conservatives, not trans people. Yeah, I mean, that's it's a decent point. Like, what in Kansas, where the law just passed that means like you have to basically allow your child to potentially be physically inspected in order to play sports. Like, what parent is going to send their kid to sports if they're going to potentially have to have some random stranger inspect their genitals? Excuse me. Like, realistically, the people who are going to be primarily affected by anti-trans sports laws is going to be cisgender girls, in just the same way that the people who are primarily affected by bathroom bans are cisgender women who just have short hair or who are older and like maybe are in menopause, so they don't have as much estrogen in their body anymore. Like, those are the people who get affected. I wonder if this is only going to apply to girls' sports with the genital inspections. I mean, that's realistically who it is going to affect the most. There's not as much politically motivated reason to question a little boy on the boys' team, you know, because they're weaponizing this. It's really just, it comes back to racism. It's the white woman who needs to be protected bullshit. Because also, like, this tends to get weaponized against black girls. There was at least one example last year of a young black cisgender girl having her participation in the sports called into question because white parents don't like it when black kids win. So they're like, oh, I'm accusing you of being a boy. But yeah, it could potentially destroy girls' sports, because why would you as a parent put your kid in a situation where their genitals might become the subject of conversation amongst a large group of people, like questioning whether your child is trans or not, and like insisting upon doing a physical examination? You would just be like, no, honey, you can't do sports. Like, we're not doing sports. Yeah, TERFs when a cis woman isn't pretty enough for them. I diagnose you with penis. If they inspect the girls, they should be required to check the boys too. It's not like your genitals have to be inspected as a matter of course. It's like if someone questions you, then your genitals need to be inspected. So it's like if you have someone who they say, I think that child is trans, then they have to be examined. Never forget, the only case of an unfair advantage for a trans person was the trans boy who was forced to play with girls when he wanted to play with boys. That kid was already on testosterone. I think he's an adult now, but like, he was on testosterone and they made him play against the girls and he won, and I'm sure that felt like shit. I could see them making young trans men take testosterone tests to make sure they don't have hormonal advantage over cis boys. They wouldn't allow them to play, though, is the thing. They would just say you can't play at all, realistically. They'd be like, well, you're trans and you can't play with the boys, but you're on testosterone, so you can't play with the girls. Yeah, I saw that, Gay Fesh. They're trying to transvestigate Daniel Radcliffe's girlfriend. I think there was a place that they passed that law, and after the first inspection, enough people complained that they backed off of it. We can hope. I mean, it sucks that it has to come to, like, they literally legalize pedophilia in order to get cisgender people to care about the fact that they're attacking trans rights. You know that they're gonna go home, though. After they're gonna go and they're gonna complain and they're gonna rah 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 about the genital inspections, but they don't actually care. They're still gonna be like, well, I still think that trans people shouldn't be in sports probably, but like, you can't enforce it in this way. Like, that's ultimately what they really care about. They want to reinforce the idea that trans kids are an out group, so it's socially harder for kids to transition. They don't care that this makes people depressed. Literally any way that they can disincentivize us, creating social consequences, creating social difficulties, singling us out, like pretty much anything they can do, they're happy to do. What the hell would they do to cheerleaders? I would guess that cheerleading is considered a sport in the same way. I don't know. I never made any attempt to be a cheerleader. That was not my bag, baby. Yep. they would like for trans people to stop existing in whole or in part. In whole or in part. Interesting. Not only is cheer a sport, it's the sport with the most injuries per capita, if I remember correctly. It's, yeah, that's like even more so than gymnastics. I would not be, because with gymnastics, they actually take safety seriously. Conservatives are doing everything they can to empower random bigots to legally harass anyone they dislike. Abortion provider bounties, gender-affirming care provider bounties, making it so parents can accuse students of being trans if their kid doesn't win, which disproportionately affects kids of color, never mind trans kids. Between this shit and the selective Second Amendment, they seem to want to turn their base into their enforcers. Yeah, it's not at all reminiscent of the Nazis drumming up social contagion against Jewish people and having them form militia groups. It's totally not. It's not at all. It's not at all like that. It's not at all like that. It's not. With cheer, they'll build human towers without a gymnastics pad beneath them. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, first time someone doesn't make the cheer team. She's trans, points at random cheerleader. Oh my god. What is on my eyeball? Oh my god. Then, years later, they wonder why we have nothing in common with the rest of our family and community. That puzzles them when they exclude you. They don't realize the implications of their actions. It's never a consideration of theirs that many of these kids will survive, grow up, and hate them. I mean, recently, they're actually using that as justification. I've seen Matt Walsh saying recently that, like, trans people ruin families. Like, you know, we insist that people respect our pronouns, and then we threaten to stop talking to our parents if they don't obey. Like, the fact that we don't want to be around people who are disrespectful to us is now being weaponized and, like, used to continually, like, encourage on this idea that we are fundamentally destructive to the concept of the family, which, like, again, is, like, it's, like, psycho fucking bullshit propaganda anyway. The, like, oh, we need to, you know, the family is the number one thing, you know, and it's always got to do with, like, your blood relations, and, you know, your dad should be allowed to marry you off when you're 15 and fucking all kinds of insane shit like that. But yeah, no, that's been used against us already. Yeah, well, Nazis ruin communities. Like, what the fuck is that? They're ruining communities broadly for the pursuit of establishing their own little communities, so they think it's okay. This stuff is why it makes me mad when people act like I was a jerk when I didn't tell anyone for 30 years. Yeah, no, not interested. Tucker Carlson's been severely unhinged the last few days, more than usual. I haven't seen any coverage of Tucker Carlson. I guess there's just so much other stuff going on Twitter that we had a little bit of a break from Tucker Carlson coming through the limelight. Yeah, exactly. Mama Mephistopheles out here with the PSA. In Minecraft thing has been proven not to work. So what instead you have to say is that you want to eliminate Nazism from public life, because if you just add ism, then it's fine. It's not a threat to anyone. We want to get rid of Nazism. We want to eliminate Nazism from public life. For real, my extended family has called me selfish for wanting them to use my new name and respect me. My mom has a long name that you can pull several nicknames from. And when she was younger, her family gave her one nickname. And when she got to high school, she decided she wanted to use a different nickname. And everybody was fine with that. I mean, some people would tease her about it. I remember growing up. But, like, it's a normal thing for cis people to decide like, well, I don't, or maybe they're called William, and when they're a kid they're called Billy, and they grow up and they're like, I don't want you to call me Billy anymore, that's a kid's name, call me Will. And then like that's like normal. Cis people are sometimes even really fucking belligerent about it, so please get the fuck off my dick if you want to try to call trans people in particular uniquely selfish about that. Like, I'm 30 years old almost, and this is like my childhood growing up with a mom who had one of those big nickname shifts, and she would be kind of pissy about it if you called her the wrong nickname. My name is somewhat unique, and surprisingly, I never got teased for it because nobody could come up with a good way to mock it. Yeah, Gayfesh, you've been my friend for like a while, and I don't know your actual name. I was literally like, I was telling my partner about my potential plans to go visit you all, and I was like, yeah, my friend's Silent and like Gayfesh, and I'm like, okay, well, Silent's actual name is Silent, but your name is not Gayfesh. It's just funny to me. The highlight of Tucker Carlson this week is when he said trans people think they are God. We've heard that accusation before. That's not new. Oh, chat reconnecting. There we go. Tell Nazis to follow the leader. Is that okay? Can you get away with that? I've seen people post that with like a picture of Hitler doing the thing. I'm pretty sure I didn't even tell DM my real name until we met in person. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, we just are like that sometimes. I have determined that Zephyr is not actually the name that I like, but the name is similar enough to that Zeph is still the nickname that I want to use. So that's exciting. I'm finally feeling a little bit more comfortable about that, which is cool. But not... Whoa. Not as my platform name. If you wouldn't call Vosh by his actual name, then don't call me Zeph. Got it. Your real name is Zephistopheles. True. True. I am Zephistopheles. What's up, NBJ? Catching my first stream from my new home in Pennsylvania. Ooh, exciting. I'm glad that you've successfully moved. Congratulations on getting there. And thank you for joining us. Hopefully unpacking is gonna go okay. What's the meaning behind Luxander? I pulled Lux from the word fluxa and fluxus. I did not know that Lux was its own word because it did not occur to me to check. But fluxa and fluxus are like the Latin words that have evolved into like fluctuating, the word fluctuating. Which is like, or like ephemeral or fleeting, short, those kind of words. So yeah, that's what the point of it was. And then ander obviously just means like a person. I thought just Luxander was your name, like Beyonce or Prince. True. I am the artist formerly known as Luxander. When you are asleep, are you Laxander? Is it? I thought it would be like when I'm lazy, I'm being Laxander. I don't know. I'm trying to help you out. The dragon formerly known. Yeah, true. Copsite Mo is seeing the love comments. They just like the one I left during Tuesday's stream. I saw that they liked my comment a few minutes ago. Thank you all for showing them some love. Oh, I think that they responded to my comment too. Where's my notifications on YouTube? Yeah. We spread a little bit of happiness over on Cops Hate Mo's channel if you weren't here on Tuesday, because they posted a video recently detailing their saga of getting denied top surgery in New Zealand's public health service. So, yeah, they're trying to fundraise to get it done privately, and they've made a decent amount of progress on that. So, you know, probably periodically we'll direct attention toward that. Do I have... I would have to pull up the video in order to find the link again. Yeah, maybe I'll do that later. Yeah, basically, they were strung along for a year, and then essentially they were just taken off of the wait list and told that they were no longer eligible to be on the wait list for top surgery. Are we talking to the person who was doing a top surgery funder and got targeted by TERFs? No, that's a different person. Although, yo, like, that's fucking ingenious. I don't have the link to it anymore. But there, you know, there was that person who posted, they just posted like they wanted to get $10,000 or so to pay for top surgery and to take the time off work or whatever to get it done. And they got it done. They got it funded because some person shared a screenshot of their GoFundMe and was like, look at this young woman trying to fundraise a huge amount of money in order to mutilate their body. And I'm like, wow, this is so good to know. Like, I am going to have to outrage market the fuck out of my bottom surgery GoFundMe when I finally get that, when I finally do that thing. I live in a state that's really good about trans health, but I am still always so afraid to ask for services because I'm afraid that I'll get denied. Yeah, it sucks. Just DM your GoFundMe to Graham Linehan. He won't be able to resist. Yeah, like, especially if I post a feminine picture as the GoFundMe. Oh, man. That would really do it. If I named the GoFundMe, like, help me get a penis. Like, or, like, help me install a penis. Don't try to knock the fucking beer over onto my keyboard. And then it's, like, a picture of me in a dress or something with my, like, hair down. Oh, my God. They would not be able to make the cons pay for your titty surgery. I'm way less sure about titty surgery than I am about like penis surgery, and I am still not 100% sure about penis surgery either. I am like, I know that I want to have the end result for sure. I'm still not sure about like if I'm gonna be able to mentally and emotionally go through with the actual surgery. So yeah, I'm trying to get myself to a point where I'm first, and also like I gotta deal with the hysterectomy question first because I definitely would get the hysto first if I get one. So yeah, I like, now that I have the IUD out of my body, I now have to ask myself the more difficult question of, do I want to get a hysterectomy? Metoideo or fallow? I want fallow. I want to like leave my original junk as the exact same as humanly possible and just do the graft. You got to play both sides of this too. Be like, I'm detransitioning and I need the help of the GC community. Please pay for my penis restoration surgery. Why don't you just get your tubes tied? So Jeller, contrary to popular belief, vasectomy and tubal ligation are not always reversible. So And like the longer you go after having the procedure done, the less likely that it is to be reversible. So this is, it's something that I've talked about on the channel before. I want you all to be careful in this Roe v. Wade conversation time to not pressure men to get vasectomies because they can't necessarily, like, you know, you might be able to get that covered by your insurance initially, but you won't necessarily be able to get insurance to cover it when you want to have it removed. So like, okay, maybe you could try to store your sperm, but like that's going to be expensive for the next 10 years. So like if you get a vasectomy done and then you have it reversed like 3 years later, you might be able to be successfully reversed, but that's not always the case. And like I said, the longer it is between one surgery and the next, you might not ever get your fertility back. Now, you can still have sperm extracted from your ball sack if you want to do that. You can have that done. And same thing for if you have a tubal ligation. Like, I could have my tubes tied and then still, or actually, I could have a full hysterectomy or get my tubes tied either way and still be able to have my ovum extracted because that's how they do IVF, I'm pretty sure, is like they stick a needle into your stomach, into your abdomen, and then like suck the eggs out of your ovary. Anyway, that's gruesome. A website won't let me in with the VPN. Whoops. What's up, Beth? But yeah, so the question for me, surgically speaking, like you might, like any surgery that you get done, you might as well be like, this is permanent sterility. Like if you get your tubes tied, you might not be able to get it reversed. You could be signing up for permanently not being able to get pregnant without like doing IVF. I got pregnant from someone who had a vasectomy and I was fresh off Depo, FML. God, that sounds like it fucking sucks. Late trigger warning. Extracting sperm from your ball sack sounds kinky. True. But yeah, with the penis restoration surgery, you know, oh, you know what would be really funny, Gayfesh, is like I could initially, I don't know. I think the first one, I would want to play it like, I would just want to play up like, yeah, I'm non-binary and I'm gonna like get this penis installed and keep my vagina the way that it is and have people, I want to get the outrage attention from that and get my surgery funded that way. And then later, if I do want to get boobies, then I'll be like, I could lie and say that testosterone shrank my boobies, which is not a thing that it does. I want permanent sterility. I even had a vasectomy surgery lined up with my HMO until our company got bought out a week before the surgery and I lost the insurance. Holy fucking shit, that's awful. Oh, man. Would you download a penis? Yeah. And for me, it's, like, the fertility question is one thing, but the other part of it is, like, symptoms. You know, will I have less cramping if I remove my uterus? Probably. If you remove the fallopian tubes, you remove a lot of the chance of cancer, so if only T-shrank boobs. Like, it technically makes them kind of deflated and, like, kind of sad, but, yeah, it doesn't actually remove any of the breastish tissue. Would you download a penis? You bet your ass I would. It's like if fertility were the only question, I might even, I don't know. It's the whole conversation about surgeries and stuff is complicated when you're in like a relationship that you're not sure how it's gonna go for the next several years. Does T make the bigs boober? makes the boobs bigger. It makes the bigs boober. Wow, I am just doing such a stellar job today. But like this is where muscle goes on and boobies are down here. Like boobies are down here and muscle is up here. So no, it doesn't really work. Bigs boober. Mm-hmm. Biggs Boober sounds like a Star Wars name. True. Me when the boober is Biggs. Oh, God. What have I done? What have I done? It's like how it's really easy to say coin toss wrong. Like, toin toss is so easy to... I don't know why. Just keep crocheting the Pepe and don't stop until you're so old it gets super long. I mean, I made this one for the specific purpose of putting in my pants so that I could be like, here's what it would be like to have a little penis right on your chest. I'm gonna have it surgically attached to the center of my chest. You know? Or what if I did it, I could do it on my forehead. Now I'm a unicorn with a penis forehead. Yeah, that's pretty great. All right, anyway. Yeah, Squidward knows. Yeah, the Squidward knows. I am filled with joy. I'm pretty sure I've seen art of a unicorn with a dick horn. Clipped, true. Dick nose moment. Replacing fingers with penises. I don't even know. Does that even come... It doesn't even come across as like a pee-pore anymore when it's on the finger. Anyway. This is my little handmade pee-pore. It's mine. Precious. Cockacorn, true. I actually had a dream about this, except I had fish eggs in my head. Oh no. How long did that take? I don't know, man. I undid and restarted it so many fucking times. I have no idea how long it took. I could, now that I understand how to do it, it would not take long. But yeah. It was an experiment. Should we start a thing where it's like, do you want cloth packers instead of silicone? I don't know why you would, except that, like, do you want a packer that's custom and it's only a penis and there's no balls? Because I have not found any packers that are a penis and no balls. So, and also if it were silicone, then you wouldn't be able to attach it to your underwear and like moor it in place. You know what I mean? Could make a tail. Yeah, I saw a video once of someone making a dragon tail, and it was pretty cool. I do technically have a tail now. Does the cloth shrink if you machine wash them? I don't know. I think this is mostly a cotton. I think this is mostly cotton. So I don't know, but I would hand wash it anyway. Like, part of the reason why I made it the way that I made it with like it's actually like a hollow tube that's like floppy and squishy, you know? So that you can wash the sock in the laundry, and then you can wash this like with dish soap or something in the sink. And then I'm gonna put the sock back in there. I had it in there like all perfect and I fucked it up by removing it, but that's fine. I'm using this more as a conversation piece than as an actual packer right now anyway. There we go. There we go. Now it's gonna be a little bit lumpy, but yeah, that's fine. Now it's there again. Balls is a state of mind. Balls is a social construct. Even women need to grow a pair sometimes. True. So, yeah, that's just a little thing that I decided to make for myself because there are no packers that are only pee-pores. And also, how would you keep a silicone packer that's only a pee-pore in your pants? It's the balls that makes it, like, sit in a certain way in your underwear. If it shrinks, just rub it a bit and it should get big again. True. It's a rough first week of the month. No donos this week. That's okay. It's just an interesting observation. Like, I was kind of assuming that it would really pick up here in the spring. Views have definitely picked up, though, so maybe there will be a correlation. If it shrinks, just rub it a bit and it should get big again. Yeah, like, oh. That would be the way to do it. Like, it's just like, it's flat. It's so flat. It's like a Salvador Dali. Oh, there you go. It's like a Salvador Dali. And then you gotta fluff it up. You could add a new dick puppet character, do a little dialogue with it. Like Sako. Yeah, sad Dicky. It's got, yeah, it looks so sad this way. Hi, everybody. Rough month on my end. No worries. I completely understand. It's tax season. Sometimes people just straight up owe taxes. Sorry, just paid rent and moving this month. Guess that's why they call it a don't know and not a do yes. True. I think it's always like a little bit less the first week of the month too, and then it picks up in the middle of the month. So it's just, yeah, it's just really interesting to witness over time how things change. You said that you were a teacher. What do you teach? Me? Or are you talking to Mersh? Because Mersh was like an actual teacher. I am currently tutoring my teenage siblings in basically every subject. Oh shit, NBJ, the job I had lined up for here fell through. Did you just move somewhere for a job and the job fell through? It's fucking insane to me that that can happen. Like, that jobs will want you to move to a new city for them and they won't, like, sign a contract with you before you get there. Like, what the fuck? What is the purpose of doing that? It's, like, so fucked up. I can't understand. I'm not a teacher. I think it would be cool to be a teacher. I just don't think that, I mean, I don't think I would make very much money at it. And also, no one would want me to be a teacher because I'm gay. Like, I've said too many horrendous things on the internet for them to ever allow me to be a teacher. I could be a tutor, though, probably. I've been tutoring my teenage siblings, and I'm going to see them this weekend and teach them some stuff in person and hang out with them and get them, like, some time away from home to relax, so... Ohio Department of Education is trying to get me to renew my teaching license. Might be a bit awkward now. Right. Might be a bit awkward with the current state of things. Like, if I was a teacher right now, how long do you think it would take for libs of TikTok to target me? It would not take long. Meanwhile, my brother was a big 4chaner back in the day, and now he teaches math at a private school. Private school. I could get hired at a private school, maybe. Too gay for school. Yeah, maybe 2 weeks. I could maybe be a teacher for 2 weeks before libs of TikTok caught me. Red state. I live in Kansas. Yes. Yes. What's up, Lunchboxy? I'm a cis chick with a strange desire to design Packers. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's weird. I don't know if that's any more weird than anybody else's desire to design Packers. Is libs of TikTok a chaser? Wait, what? I've never heard this before. Private school scares me. Right-wingers love them. Right. There's basically no private school that's a leftist private school. They're all, like, vaguely religious institutions. I had the job lined up as a transfer between locations of the chain, but that was not the reason to move. I was moving for queer family. Okay, well, that's good. Libs of TikTok is a lesbian for sure. She's in love with Taylor Lorenz. I mean, that doesn't mean that she's a chaser. That's different. Libs of TikTok still goes after private school teachers. Oh, does she? Jesus fucking Christ. You would think that it's like you would let teachers be at a private institution. 5 different YouTubers have all speculated that she's a lesbian. Is it just because she kind of isn't very attractive? Is that why? Like, people are speculating that libs of TikTok is a lesbian because she just is not a very attractive woman. I thought she was crushing on AOC now. I did see her talk to... I'm not being misogynist. I'm saying, like, are other people being misogynistic? She objectively isn't very attractive, and she's a terrible human being, so, you know. But yeah, I saw that she bothered AOC, and AOC was very clearly like, you are terrible, and I do not want to share space with you. Bye-bye. She was hella weird to Taylor Lorenz and called her Tay-Tay. And now she's being weird to AOC. I think she's just weird. In an interview, she said that LGBTQ ideology is seductive. Okay, well, her being a lesbian is a separate issue to her being a chaser. I accept the speculation that she might be a lesbian. I mean, the founder person of Gays Against Groomers is a lesbian, isn't she? You would think someone would go after libs of TikTok like hell hath no fury. I'm surprised that she is still doing what she is. This is not a threat, but as many people as she has crossed. I ask myself that every day, Mersh. I'm like, how are there not firebombs on Rob DeSantis's house every night? Like, I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm wondering how it's possible that people have not retaliated against him in that way. I don't live in Florida. I don't know anyone who lives in Florida, so I can't encourage or say that I have an opinion about it in any way. I'm just like, how much fucked up shit can you do before people burn your house down? Like, it seems like the natural conclusion, knowing United States history specifically, like the fact that we would do things like dismantle someone's house board by board if they were doing something that was a threat to the community. Like, it's an American tradition. So yeah, it's like, because the surveillance state is so ubiquitous, like because the surveillance state presents such a threat, I think a lot of people think like, oh, I have no idea how I could do anything to help without just getting singled out, and like, you know, and like broader liberal society is not gonna support actions like that. So you're kind of, unless it's in a majorly organized way, like unless you have an actual militia, it's like not worth doing on an individual level. There are individuals who've done things like throw Molotov cocktails through windows, and like a precinct has been burned down. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit earlier, Beth. Republicans in Kansas overrode the governor's veto to authorize genital inspections for kids to play sports. Yeah, I mean, the unfortunate thing is that we also have a bathroom bill being considered right now that I think the bathroom bill actually has a potential, you might not be able to get your driver's license updated anymore on your name or your sex, potentially. And they also want to pass a gender-affirming care ban for under 18s. And they've just proven that they have a veto-proof majority. So, you know, Governor Kelly can veto these things symbolically. I mean, she's not going to sign them, so she's going to veto them. But it's going to be, in effect, only a symbolic gesture. Leftists are regular people who don't actually want to do violence. Right-wingers don't become unhinged. Unhinged people gravitate to the right wing. Most mass shooters and terrorists are right-wing. Yeah, I'm not referring to mass shootings. Like, I mean more like, why have these individual... Like, why is there not a more targeted thing happening toward these individual... Like, you know, Kavanaugh. Like, people used to protest at Kavanaugh's house and, you know... Nothing more serious than that has occurred. It's kind of like when you go and you watch Abigail's video, the Philosophy Tube video about violence and protest, I think is what it's called. And she points out that some folks have asked the question of like, is it ethical that we have waited so long? Like the eco activism, like ecological activism has a very uniquely nonviolent bent. Like, of all of the years of protests, it's uniquely nonviolent and also strangely like the most threatening thing that we've protested against. So it's really interesting that we haven't taken as much violent action. And it's an interesting question to ask of like, is it okay that we've waited so long to dismantle this infrastructure with our own bare hands, you know, like with the danger that this poses to human life, to all functional life on Earth. Like, is it right that we've waited so long? And I think that you could also ask that question with regards to like these political situations that we're in. Is it okay that we've waited so long to take violent action against the fact that police execute black people in broad daylight on a regular basis? Like, is it right that we've allowed this to happen for so long? Is it right that we've gone the peaceful route and we've said, you know, we need to peacefully protest on all these things? Thank you, Beck. I like the way that my hair is doing things tonight. It's looking really interesting. There is a full moon tonight. Ooh, curse. Didn't DeSantis pass a law to prevent people from protesting outside houses? Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, you're gonna have to break some laws, I think, is like what historically has happened in these situations. If they pass a law preventing you from protesting, like, you have the right to protest, though. So you need to exercise that right. You know, they're gonna try to make it illegal. If you bother enough politicians in restaurants, they're gonna pass a law to make it illegal for you to bother politicians in restaurants. It's like we won't even try in America, unlike the French. Well, we did have a lot of very intense protests in the aftermath of the George Floyd killing, but I mean, like, it's very obvious from the hundreds of videos that we saw that we can be peaceful. Yeah, we can be peaceful, and it doesn't matter. The police, like, 2020 was rife with police riots. A police riot is when the police instigate the violence at an otherwise peaceful event. It's like when police instigate violence against people who are not being violent. And then, but it doesn't matter. Like, then it's just a violent protest. And the blame for that violence always gets placed on the protesters, even when overwhelmingly the police are starting it. Civil disobedience. Sit-ins were necessary in the 1960s to end segregated restaurants, etc. Rosa Parks got arrested on the bus. That's the only way we made progress with ending segregation. In America, people are incredibly whipped by propaganda. Talk to anyone about civil disobedience, and it's mostly going to be defeatist hemming and hawing. No one wants to take the risk of moving first, and everyone is so isolated by our very infrastructure that individual risk feels much greater. I mean, the individual risk is great, for sure. Like, there is less individual risk when you act as a community. I have to fucking join the DSA. I don't really want to get involved locally because I don't want anyone in the political sphere that I'm in to potentially know even broadly, like, the 50-mile radius in which I live. But aren't the DSA tankies? I mean, I'm sure that it would depend chapter to chapter, wouldn't it? I don't know. Is Sock Done Left a tanky? Sock Done Left promotes the DSA all the time. SDL is not a tanky. I didn't think so. Where's Doe when you need it? Yeah, Doe is so off the internet. I thought that SDL was a sock dem. Yeah. He's a data male. Is that referring to the fact that he's so into studies and stuff? Ooh. Yawn, 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 yawn. Gotta drink water. More water. Hydrate or dihydrate. Hail, hydrate. I had some links open for Wisconsin. Yeah, I got this at the Renaissance Festival a while ago. It's pretty cool. No, SDL just loves Brent Spiner. I love Brent Spiner, okay? Brent Spiner is a national treasure. Why I bring up France is that they had a multi-day garbage pickup strike as they could get way more people on board, good at unionizing. They're so good at unionizing. Brent Spiner. Data. He's fully functional and anatomically correct. Who is Brent Spiner? Does he bent spines? He bent spines. He played Data in Star Trek-oo. Star Trek-oo. We indulge in a little bit of racist caricature sometimes, apparently. Oh, it was the Discord where there were some links. Thank you for posting in the Discord when we have some links to the Wisconsin stuff. Getting my links open. Shush. Okay, we're so close. Okay, I'm ready. I'm teed up to talk about it. I'm gonna rest for another minute, though, and just talk about nonsense, because I feel like I've been on for a lot of this stream. Oh, I guess we might watch a video later and respond to it. Because it's gonna be kind of a longer segment. Close that. Thank you very much. Open this. Spectacular. Did you just ahegao? Did I ahegao a bit? Like, you know? You gotta set up some tea to tee up for a tea time on low dose tea. Exactly. Brent Spiner's best work was the Frenchman in Dude, Where's My Car? I haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah, let's ask Tasha Yar about Data being fully functional and anatomically correct. Is that a Voltaire song? He's fully functional and anatomically correct. Some Voltaire bullshit. Ugh, I have laundry to put away after stream tonight. Does anybody else have that thing where you do laundry and, like, the doing laundry part is fine, except the fucking folding part? You're like, God, why? Like, I don't want to do this. Oh, I don't know why. Hiya, do you have a chat channel on your Discord or only through live YouTube streams? Spirit, there are 2 chats. One of them is the one that you're in, and the other one is on my website. So this over here, this chat right here, this is not Discord. This is not Twitch. This is my website. This is the one that I pay the most attention to, is the one on my website. So if you're on a desktop computer or a laptop or something like that, especially, those are the platforms where the website works the best. You should click the top link in the description. Come check it out. Has Streamlabs not been working tonight? Streamlabs has not been working tonight. Annoying. 1 week later, clean clothes still not folded. Ugh. Folding is sometimes fun, but mostly annoying. I think that I just set up my space in a way that's not conducive to doing stuff like laundry. Like, I need a little TV. Or I guess maybe I should just start using my laptop more often. I have, like, a shitty old laptop that I could hypothetically use to, like, watch TV. But that's the thing, is, like, I need to have a better, like, you know, this little narrow space back here, there's a beanbag chair right there. So this is not a space that's conducive to, like, watching TV and folding laundry at the same time. I'm on mobile in chat, but watching on TV. I love that I'm on TV now. Drums, thank you so much for the tier 2 sub. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Wow, there's gnats, and I don't like it. Beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful. Mwah. Number go up. Number go up. Brr. Thank you. We appreciate. I had my JRS consultation on Monday. Congrats. It was awkward explaining to my mom what JRS stands for. Yeah, if you want help from the mom person, you have to tell the mom person what the surgery is about. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm like, how comfortable am I going to be talking to my dad potentially about having a dick surgery? I don't know, man. I listen to podcasts or music while I do chores. There's something about sitting and doing laundry that I need something to visually refer to every once in a while. I don't know why. I watch on a large laptop and have it set up most of the time so that I have to stand to engage. Very annoying, but helps with movement. I know, my back sometimes hurts sitting here in my chair. I'm like, oh, just pretend your dad is H3H3. True! They never emailed me. I literally did email H3H3 and was like, I will tell you all about dick surgery if you want. And they did not ever email me back. Rip in pieces. Mine just lives in a giant hamper. I have a dirty hamper and a clean-ish hamper. And then a clean hamper. Yeah, I don't have a clean hamper. What I do have is I have a dirty hamper and I have a... I wore this for like 10 minutes and now I want to put it back, but I'm not gonna like hang it all the way up. And I need to like minimize the amount of space that is going toward that. Apparently I never told her after I came out in December when I knew I was trans. She was hugely surprised. Interesting. I usually take my clothes to the cleaners. I would not be able to take my clothes to the cleaners. That would be an expense that I could not brook. Oh gosh. So sleppy. Okay, I think I want to talk about Tennessee really fast. Did I retweet the video? I thought I did. Okay, I want this link open, and then I want to pull open another link open. Da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Hell of a surprise if you just showed up at Thanksgiving. I mean, your genitals are going to be in your pants, so if you showed up at Thanksgiving having a genital surgery, it wouldn't really change. It's not like showing up to Thanksgiving with a beard when you didn't used to have a beard, you know what I mean? Mersh has, like, military habits of cleanliness. Okay, that was one thing, and here's another thing. I thought they meant they just didn't tell mom they were trans at all. Yeah, you guys don't do Thanksgiving in bathhouses? Your family is not nudist? That's a skill issue. Yeah, skill issue. I've not been raised to be a nudist. Unfortunately. Sometimes you just let the titty hang out, you know, but that's its own little thing. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Tennessee! The boob job surgery might be a shock to some, though. That's true. Oh, gosh. Stretching feels awesome. Maybe I do need to do yoga. My lower back is very painful. Ooh, No Thanksgiving at the steam room. Can you just imagine how sweaty the food would be as you're trying to eat in the steam room? Like, the mashed potatoes would be so wet. Everything would be so wet. The hippies down the road from me in the commune like to bathe in the river. A classmate of mine bought himself a telescope, but it wasn't for watching the stars. Wow. Just scoping up the nudist colony at the river. No, I don't want to repeat that. No, mama. No, 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 no. Bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Being ridiculous. Hello, Paul Hack. Welcome in. Oh my gosh. We have a nude hot springs here in Oregon, but it's always wrinkly old dudes just letting it swang. Just letting it swing. I kind of wanted to stand up and actually try to do like a swinging thing, but no. How do I log into your website? It's just showing a broken connection when trying to log in with Google or Discord. You might have to like refresh your browser, or potentially clear cache or something like that, like clear cookies. I'm not sure. I can log into my website just fine. And I usually use Google, I think. Where can I find this hot spring? Yeah, we're into DILFs here, or JDILFs, granddads, JDILFs, JPILFs, grandpas. Because we have to separate it from GILF, because GILF just means grandma I'd like to fuck. But it's got to be granddad. We got to differentiate, because normally it's like MILF or DILF. GDILF. GPILF. It's outside of Eugene, and comically, it's called Cougar Hot Springs. Wow, that's cringe. I could use a sugar daddy, TBH. Grilfs. Papa Bears. Goodness. Oh man, I need to drink more water. Okay, we're gonna take a brief pause to drink water. Go get yourself some water if you haven't. Get yourself a little snicky snack if you haven't already. And we've got a couple more news items to go through today. We've got some stuff in Tennessee. We've got some stuff in Wisconsin. And potentially we could respond to Demon Mama video. Excuse me, because she said Mama thought it was a good idea to respond to each other's videos as leftists and like have that be a way that we encourage each other and cross-pollinate a little bit. And so I like that idea. And it's probably not going to get very many views when I upload it on the channel because for some reason like there is not a high response on my channel to content with Demon Mama. It's like people are just not interested in that particular crossover. So yeah, I might have to look into, maybe I should have like Ash Hardell do a quick little recording for me sometime or something like that so that we could say that I could be like, technically we've collabed now, Ash. Just a 10-second little voice line. I just don't know. There's so much hair on this thing. Collaborations wise, people, just are not that interested in when I respond to Demon Mama content. But it's a video about DIY hormones, and she wanted people to see it, so I was like, yeah, maybe I'll respond to it. Speaking of bears, have y'all seen Cocaine Bear? I haven't seen Cocaine Bear yet. My subscribers apparently don't like Demon Mama. It would be a dream come true if you collabed with Ash. I mean, technically, I have already collaborated with Ash Hardell. If you saw the big video that they posted that was like delving into their trauma and why they were off the internet for so long, I consulted on the script for that video, and Ash used some of my video in a clip series along with other trans creators. So technically, I've already done a little bit of a collaboration with Ash. Lux is better than Demon Mama. What? Oh, man. That's a personal opinion, you know? I don't know. Do I think that I'm better than Demon Mama? I don't think that I'm better than most people. Do I think that I'm more entertaining than Demon Mama? I don't know. I don't think so. I think she might be more entertaining than me. Ferret Girl says, I like Demon Mama. She's based. I think she's based too. So yeah, that might be like the last thing we do tonight. Kind of depending. We can probably rush through these other two Tennessee things, or this Tennessee thing and this Wisconsin thing. We probably won't spend too much time on them. And then Demon Mama posted like a half-an-hour video that we will try to play on faster speed and have a little response video. You know? Oh my god. There's a nudist resort in Virginia called Whitetail Resort near Richmond. It's been there since the 70s. I'm more of a devil mama myself. I can't listen to Demon Mama in real time. Gotta speed up. I kind of thought that I was a slow speaker. I've been watching some of my own content back when I'm editing, and I actually kind of feel like I'm a pretty slow speaker. But Mama pauses. That's the thing, is I don't really pause a lot, and she pauses for dramatic effect frequently. Whoa. What is happening? Where's the link to your website? It should be the top link in the description. It's luxander.net/live. Should be the top link in the description. I gotta figure out why Streamlabs isn't working. Lux streams live. True. Okay, so I'm gonna get some water. You get some water. I'll be back momentarily. Very briefly. Very briefly. You guys ever walk past the window in the kitchen right at sunrise, right at sunset, and you just fucking blind yourself? Like, ugh! Oh, God, like I can't see. You're the only streamer left that we don't speed up. Okay, that's good to know. Which chair gets more screen time, DM pauses or Hassan's chair? I think Hassan's chair gets more time, right? It's gotta be, because he just leaves stream for like 20 minutes to go cook himself food. Anyway. I don't know if there was a specific event in Tennessee that was like was there a mass shooting in Tennessee that specifically caused them to decide that they were going to protest? Because I saw that there were protests happening in Tennessee around gun control, or maybe it was that the lawmakers were trying to pass some kind of law that was going to make it much easier to get a hold of guns. What happened there? Do you have any eye things that cause light sensitivity? I very occasionally I will get migraines, like visual migraines, but rarely. The trans shooter was in Nashville. Okay, yeah. You're right, it was. I just forgot where it was, y'all. There are mass shooters all over this fucking country, and I just don't remember where things happen anymore. Yeah, so that was my bad. I just omitted the city where it happened. The details that I had remembered were like Christian school, allegedly trans shooter, cops got in there and killed them really quickly. Like, those were the details that I got. It's not even that she talks too slow. It's that speeding up also changes the pitch and makes it easier to listen to. Oh, interesting. There's a shooting like every 2 days. I think that there is actually, I think that there are mass shootings, like statistically speaking, every single day. Yeah, that's what I was going to cover. YouTube user remains anonymous. Oh, Voosh is streaming. Every day sounds right. I don't have the stats, but I could very well believe it. I mean, I think that there have already been well over 100 mass shootings this year, and we are... What, have we even hit 100 days yet? Tell Voosh to get off so the viewers can come here. I don't stream late enough. I guess one of these days I'm gonna have to stream starting at like 10 p.m. and then I will potentially be able to get the coveted Vosh raid. God, that would be too many people. God, that would be so exciting though. God, that would be cool. I just always stream so much earlier than him. Partially because it's literally earlier where he is, you know? So, like, if I start streaming at 5 p.m., it's literally still 3 o'clock in the afternoon for him. So, this is why I don't get the boost. Conyer streams after Voosh. Yeah, exactly. Does the Vooshy man like you? You could collab. We have talked before. He's very kind when I ask him streamer questions in his Twitter DMs. And when I told him that I was gonna potentially come visit Seattle this year, he basically offered to like meet me for lunch, or like I asked if he wanted to meet for lunch, and he was like, "Yeah, I could show you some cool places." So we could potentially be friends, or like professionally know each other a little bit. But as far as collabs go, Vosh has a long-standing policy of where he does not like to do conversations with people he agrees with. Although, did that change at some point? For a long time, he was like, I don't want to have people on my stream who I just agree with. I don't like these circle jerk conversations. And I understand that, because I also, if I'm going to have call-ins on my stream, I don't actually know if I like the conversations where we agree with each other as much as I like the conversations where we disagree. I've never watched Vosh's streams or videos. I only know about him through osmosis from LeftTube. That sounds so strange. But that's how I know a lot of these people, is like, I don't actually know anything about you or your... Hassan, I've literally never watched any of Hassan's content. Maybe like a clip on Twitter once in a while. But I mostly only know about Hassan through osmosis. You would get along with Katie and Arden. Yeah, I follow Katie. I need to chat with her sometime. That would be good. Still same policy, but he has bad takes sometimes, IMO. If Vosh has another kink at Pride kind of take, let me know, and I'll take him to task for it. Yeah, he has allied with the Progressive Victory about Wisconsin and stuff, too. Same for both Hassan and Vosh. I live happily and free. What was his kink at Pride take? I mean, he ended up kind of changing his mind a bit and not going so hard, but basically, I mean, he just... It was a very reactionary take. Or was it kink at Pride? Am I thinking of the right thing? I thought that he did kind of come out strong against it initially, but then he later was like, oh wait, yeah, this is actually like not even necessarily happening. Cat Black's call-in shows are great about different opinions being shared semi-off topic but related to diverse lefty opinion streams. Oh cool, I didn't realize that she was doing call-in shows. He also had really strong opinions, very spicy opinions about xenogenders. When Vance starts talking about systems, does he talk about systems? Oh no. I think I might be unique in how system affirming I am here, which is, I mean, it's just literally like the natural thing to do. But I don't think very many other people know about it to the same degree that I do. Excuse me. I do not follow Nominal Namus. I don't know who that is. Cat's call-ins are fantastic. I don't know if Cat would want to fuck with me. I just have always gotten the impression that because I talk about gender so much that Cat would be annoyed by that, because she just constantly repeatedly says that she doesn't even talk about gender most of the time in life. It's asking me to log in on the website, but when I try to use Google or Discord, it doesn't let me, and it won't let me upload a message in chat. I mean, have you, like, closed your browser completely and, like, opened it back up? Checked your cookies and your cache and, like, clear those? If that's still not working, then I might forward that to my website builder person, but I don't know a lot about the details. TBH. I thought Vosh's take on xenogenders was actually really lukewarm, but his system takes were really bad. I mean, he finally settled on xenogenders being, like, basically, this is the equivalent of a nickname, and we should treat it, like, as normal, basically. Sometimes Cat seems kind of doomer. Yeah, Cat has fully embraced the idea that society is going to continue to get worse for trans people, and she has been of that opinion for years. Oh yeah, do you have a VPN on, Spiritborn? That might be why. The website acts funny when you have a VPN on. Nominal Namus is a trans debate cis on YouTube. She's very small, but she's a really good debater, like a young Vosh, but a lot nicer to people. Would we disagree about things, or would we agree about things? Are we talking about Cat Black? Is there something wrong with her? What happened? IDK, I feel weird about my gender being trivialized as a nickname. Well, he was talking about, like, he meant, like, in terms of, like, with how hyper-specific the pronouns get. He was basically like, you don't, like, it's just as important to someone as a nickname, and, like, you shouldn't treat it as a big deal that you need to, I have to memorize all these pronouns. Like, you could just think of it as a nickname if that makes it easier for you to do that. Yeah, I just was really abbreviating. Like, you got to understand, y'all, that sometimes when we talk about these things, I'm like abbreviating sometimes months-long conversations. She had some kind of assault recently. Oh shit, that's not good. Cat Black's main channel content has recently moved towards positivity and enjoying life, however still very political on the side channel. I guess I don't know the side channel. And yes, there was a big falling out with Cat and Vosh and Natalie regarding whether or not it's okay to call J.K. Rowling a bitch. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting conversation to me. I've been thinking about it a little bit recently. Like, is bitch an anti-woman slur that we should treat as being the same? Like, is there an anti-woman slur that is the same as, like, tranny or faggot or, like... Because I remember once upon a time... Oh, God, what's her name? Lacey Green. Lacey Green made a video about the word bitch and how we shouldn't say it anymore because, like, almost all of the women that she's worked with who have been, like, in domestic abuse situations, like, the word bitch really gets weaponized against women, like, almost ubiquitously. And so I've been kind of thinking a little bit about, like, is the word bitch like a slur in the same way, you know? Cunt? Yeah, well, in the United States, yes, cunt. But, I mean, you know, because it's so different in, like, Australia and the UK, I don't know. The word that icks me most when I see you guys say it is whore. Yeah. Jezebel came pretty close to it in my Fundy community growing up. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, whore is like a specifically anti-sex worker, but it does end up catching women in general. Vosh specifically said women stop talking challenge. It was less the word and more the message IMO. Yeah, I mean, again, this was like I made a video about it at the time, so, you know, you could refer back to that for a more, like, fresh in my memory kind of conversation. Bitch and cunt are so broadly used outside of a sexist context that they don't register to me as sexist. Most of the guys I see who are trying to be overtly sexist call women whores, even if they're not necessarily sex workers, but yes, it is mostly used against sex workers. I do feel like bitch is female coded when used negatively. You can say sup bitch to anyone, though. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're saying, like, you're being a little bitch or anything like that, you know, and it doesn't matter that you're not a woman per se. Like, if you tell a man you're being a little bitch, you're still using a misogynistic slur for that reason. It would be just like saying, like, you're being a fag. You know, it's still like the man doesn't have to be gay in order for you to use a homophobic slur against him and invoke homophobia in order to denigrate him. Same with misogyny, right? So I don't know. I just been thinking about it a little bit lately because we've been having this conversation about the word retarded and, like, whether you should use that or not. And also with Otro, like, there's a difference between reclaiming slurs and, like, you know, using slurs that don't have anything to do with you. Like, I can call myself a tranny and, like, all this stuff that actually does apply to me, but, like, that's different than calling someone else that, and it's also different than trying to use words that don't apply to you, you know? When a man calls a woman a bitch, he's calling her aggressive and loud, and when a man calls another man a bitch, he's calling him weak and cowardly. I mean, yeah, it's, you know, two different ways of weaponizing misogyny in order to hurt people. It was the whole misogynistic stop talking and sit down, basically. It was more of the, is misogyny okay when talking to J.K. Rowling? I mean, I didn't even realize when that initially happened that that's a play on a feminist saying, oh, there's the Streamlabs thing. It's working just fine. Okay. There was a feminist slogan that said basically, like, stand up, be loud, or something like that. And so Vosh was twisting that and saying, like, women sit down and be quiet, like, specifically inverting that. Vivi, thank you so much for the $5 dono. Input from the linguist re-slurs words hard. Oh my god, true. Are you actually professionally a linguist? That's so fascinating because I love linguistics, and I if I had a lot of time and money to waste, I would potentially go to school to learn linguistics. My mom did a little bit of linguistics college back in the day. Whore and slut are the two most vicious sexist terms condemning women that I most frequently hear. They are directed at young girls most of the time by young boys. Barracks talk denigrating ex-girlfriends, etc. I got a degree from the #2 linguistics program in the world, not to brag. That's awesome. I love talking about linguistics. I bet it's really frustrating because I am a layman. Oh, Internet Fox, also in the YouTube chat, is a linguist who has a BA in applied linguistics. Rar. Yes, yes, yes. The sheer number of people who almost exclusively use the word bitch for women, who say in full sincerity that they use it evenly. Well, I wish it was surprising. Yeah. That is something that's, it's like when people say dude is gender neutral, and it's like, okay, well, how many dudes have you fucked then? Doesn't really go very well. Yo, can we do a translinguistics panel sometime? What would we discuss on the translinguistics panel? Like, what kind of linguistics? Because potentially, it could be fun. It doesn't help that the person I've heard the most say that dude is gender neutral now was Shu. Didn't Shu just take a job at the Daily Beast? Like, actually? Didn't she, like, actually take a job at the Daily Beast? Oh, was it April Fool's? Okay, okay. Yeah, I forgot. Internet Skepticism Day. If you got time to linguistics, you got time to cleanguistics. Fuck no. Phonology stuff is cool, like how speech qualities are gendered and what does and doesn't change with testosterone, etc. Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't know if that was like a linguistics conversation. Like the... I mean, because I enjoy talking about that quite a lot, like the how you speak and where the resonant qualities come from and like how to make your voice pass gay male speech versus trans mask speech. Okay, that does sound like an interesting topic. Yeah, that could be really cool. Excuse me. Spirit, you managed to figure it out. I'm so glad that you got onto the website. I'm from the UK, and you may have heard of one of our MPs is likely to put a law in place preventing trans women from using female spaces like bathrooms. Life doesn't look good for us in the UK at the moment. Right. I did see that they were talking about changing... You're talking about amending the Equality Act? Like the Equality Act, which made it possible for the protected rights to use the bathroom and everything. They're like, yeah, no, we're just going to change it. We're going to deny you medical care and not allow you to use the bathroom. Like... This is the policy in practice of eradicating transgenderism from public life. Like, they haven't outright stated that they want to eradicate transgenderism from public life, but that is what they're effectively doing. Never trusted Tories with human rights. Yeah, don't trust Tories. Well. Oh my gosh, maybe we won't have time to respond to Demon Mama tonight. Maybe we'll have to do that next time. So the Nashville shooting happened. The supposedly trans person shot up a Christian school that they allegedly used to go to, and... They apparently had a whole manifesto. Have we had the manifesto leak yet, actually? May I pile on a hot take on for the translinguistics stream? Potentially. The English language has 4 genders, not counting neopronouns. Yeah, I guess I would be interested in hearing what you mean by that. I've not heard of the manifesto coming out. Is there? Yeah, because I saw some people claiming that Vosh was named in the manifesto. Like, that's what people are talking about on... Oh, there was a fake manifesto? Of course, so we haven't actually seen it yet. So the mass shooting perpetrated by an allegedly trans person in Nashville recently caused some controversy online, obviously, and also some people in Tennessee tried to protest so that the lawmakers would change the laws to try to make it a little bit like safer to live in Tennessee potentially. And apparently a couple of lawmakers joined these protests and might be like in the process currently of having consequences enacted on them, like as we stream right now, having consequences enacted on them. So I don't know a lot of the details of this situation, which is why we're going to listen to this person talk about it. Pronouns are different than genders. I mean, we were talking about linguistics. And like genders are a thing in language, you know? I think Vosh is in a different manifesto, not the Nashville one. Oh God, really? So here's a video where this young man is talking about this issue. Let's see. Here we go.
So what's going on here in Tennessee today?
So 3 of us lawmakers who stood with our constituents demanding that they take action, and here the thousands of people gathered on Thursday talking about the crisis of mass shootings. We've been kicked off our committees as representatives elected by our constituents. Each of us represents 78,000 people, and our people are being silenced because they're kicking us off committees. They're threatening to take a vote to expel us today. Our member ID badges have been shut off. Our representative ID badges have been shut off. And this is not what democracy looks like. You know, we are elected to serve our constituents, and I'm the youngest Democratic lawmaker here, the most diverse district, and by shutting me down, they're shutting down the voice of my constituents. So this is one of my constituents, Ms. Brooks, and so whose family was hit, and you know, a victim of the Walk House mass shooting, and so we're here to speak for them, and they won't even let us speak for our people. They wouldn't let us talk on the floor. They shut our microphones off. They shut our voting machines off. We couldn't even talk about the issue, and so when we went to the well to force the issue, they called us insurrectionists and are now trying to expel us from the legislature.
Wow. So, oh gosh, God fucking Christ, these fucking fungus gnats. It's actually just like one at this point that I can't kill. Holy shit, that's pissing me off, dude. Okay, stop. Thank you. So that's Representative Justin Jones, who is the youngest Democratic lawmaker. As he said, he represents one of the most diverse districts in Tennessee, 78,000 people. So because of the fact that they protested with their constituents in the hopes of, you know, having their voice heard on this, I didn't realize in this country that when you become a lawmaker, you lose your right to protest. The video of the police arresting them is dumb too. It was a peaceful sit-in. Did they actually get arrested over this too? Jesus. So they had basically all of these unofficial mechanisms kicked in where their ID badges were limited. They couldn't vote on issues. They had their microphones shut down on the floor. The fungus gnat has an invincibility lollipop. It's very irritating. So then, additionally, the official process has kicked in where Tennessee House Republicans are voting to expel these Democratic lawmakers. Like, what happens after that? Do they get to re-elect someone from the district? Like this is, it's such a clear usurpation of democracy on this. Like, okay, let's watch this video. These are all of the people voting. Take that down. These are all the people voting in green to expel these lawmakers. Or I guess this is the vote on the first person. Just overwhelming yes from the Republican lawmakers. This is certainly not what democracy looks like. They're still reps, just not allowed in the chamber, I think. Well, I mean, if you've functionally stripped them of their ability to represent their constituents. If they're not allowed in the chamber, they're not allowed to do their jobs. So the will of the people in their districts is just not being heard on issues. So like, unless they also temporarily put a hold on any votes for the next couple of weeks while they sort this issue out, this is just taking away the voice of some of the most diverse districts in Tennessee. Yeah, ultimately, why wouldn't the Republicans do this? Because the Democratic Party has obviously demonstrated that they don't have any spine. They're absolutely gutless cowards. barreling toward a fascist takeover because the Democrats won't do anything. Exactly, functionally made the people's voices silent in those areas. Because keep in mind always that democracy, free speech, representation, equality, these are all professed values of a democratic society, but fascists don't share those values. They will exploit the fact that you care about those things in order to take power. So, like, we care about not using the mechanisms in place to steal power, but they don't. They, you know, there is no understanding that they are going to act in good faith on these issues. I saw something else today too. Hold on. Yeah, camera's being weird. Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll talk about North Carolina here in a second as well. And they accuse them of being insurrectionists. Like, to be clear, a protest about gun violence is being compared to the attempt to usurp... Oh my god, please. Okay, thank you. And so just to be clear, they are also making the comparison that against the insurrection, that these people who are protesting for gun control are the same as the people who tried to murder our elected officials and steal the votes so that the vote could not be counted. Like, they literally were trying to stop the vote from being properly counted. The people are protesting in Tennessee. Perhaps they will continue to the point that the GOP has to physically capitulate. Either that or they will have to declare martial law. I think it's a good likelihood that they'll declare martial law. Like, I think there's a pretty good chance that they will declare martial law and just be like, yeah, we have to send people home. We're gonna put on a curfew and start rubber bulleting people in the face when they won't leave, and destroy people's cameras, even though they're journalists, for sure. They may end up with an insurrection if they push it. It remains to be seen. I mean, it certainly seems like the attempt to destroy democracy should result in some kind of pushback, but it may or may not, and we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Stuff like this makes me worried that the Dems will throw us under the bus in the name of bipartisanship. Yeah, and then based on Biden's rule today, they already are. Yeah, they don't care about us. Oh, I didn't even mention earlier. Oh my god, is there any way? Do I have a clicker? I don't think I have a clicker. The thing that especially sucks about Biden making this change with trans athletes is that it goes against directly what he had decided to do on day one. Let me get this open. Where is it? Like, on the very first day of Biden's presidency, he signed an executive order declaring that federal law compels schools to let transgender student athletes play on the team that corresponds with their gender identity. And now they're reneging on that position. So, yeah, they will run on the idea that, like, oh, yeah, trans people deserve equality. And then they'll just backtrack on that completely because they don't actually care. Like, Democrats don't actually care about us. John Get Bent with the $5 dono. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Y'all are really bringing it tonight. Hell yes. Feels good to make money doing political analysis. Oh, yeah, what's up, Drums? I've been kicking around an argument responding to conservatives defining a woman as an adult human female. The response is that that definition is circular because conservatives say that sex determines gender. that being female makes you a woman. Therefore, the words woman and female are defined as the same thing. It then would follow that the phrase a woman is an adult human female is circular because woman is defined using a word with the same definition. I mean, that's a good point. They do accuse you of making a circular argument when you say trans women are women. So I could see, I don't know if that'll work, but let us know how it goes. Okay, wait, what were we just talking about? Tennessee. They're so fucking stupid. They're trying to court Republican votes, which will never work, but will make the rest of us fucking hate them. They may as well swear Trump into office now if this is their plan. I think Trump's going to run as an independent. I think Trump is going to run independent, and that DeSantis is going to run Republican, which does mean that there are going to be fewer votes going to the Republican Party because of the fact that there's going to be an independent running. But I still think that DeSantis is going to win. Like, I think that we might be really majorly fucked in a very immediate sense. I guess I'm kind of taking the black pill on this. I think we're fucked, like, for real. I've been like unsure for a while of what's gonna happen, and I've been like, well, maybe it'll not go that bad, but I think ultimately, like, we are fucked. Yeah, I'm a biologist, so I will get into the chromosome variation deep, and they just say, those are outliers. They don't count. Women have uteruses. Trump is the front runner for the Republican primary right now. Really? Trump's been bleeding support for a long time from all but his core cult, but he's still leading Republican polls from what I remember. I wonder if the Republican National Committee, though, is going to go with him or not. Because if they spurn him, then he will for sure run independent. Like, majorly. Don't doomer pill yet. Trump is way ahead of DeSantis in the GOP. I mean, that's not like a fucking reassurance to me. Like, I think that regardless of whether Trump or DeSantis gets in, that we are fucked. I think that with DeSantis, the threat is more clear and direct, but with Trump, like, his first campaign video was all about trans people. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, I suppose, but I am very not excited about bad things, you know? Oh yeah, we love that. We love that little, like, catch-22 situation. In a statement by International Sports Governance, Sir Seth Coe has stated that trans women who transitioned after puberty cannot compete. So, meanwhile, there are people advocating to prevent trans kids from transitioning. They're all basically saying that trans people shouldn't be allowed to exist as a cumulative, yeah. We need a not Biden, but one fails to appear. There is not... I guess the assumption from the Democratic base is that Biden is going to run for re-election, or that if for some reason he's not mentally all there enough, then Kamala will run. Because there's zero buzz about a contender for the Democratic nomination in 2024, and it's 2023 right now. You know, it's interesting though, because you would think that by this time, Biden would have started talking about his run. Biden's chief of staff is apparently a TERF of some variety. Oh no. I mean, it's not surprising, but oh no, I didn't know that. Ugh. That's disappointing. There's Robert Kennedy Jr. trying to run, but he's an anti-vaxxer. Marianne Williamson rumored to run for the left. Oh God. Here's my 2 cents. DeSantis is not the campaigner that Trump is. If by any chance he did win the primary, Trump would run as an independent and split the Republican vote. Trump's sycophants are too loyal to him. I seriously doubt DeSantis ends up in the Oval Office. Yeah, I mean, I hope that you're right. And I don't disagree with that analysis, generally speaking. If Trump runs as an independent, it's going to split the Republican vote, and it would be much harder for one of them to win. But I don't know if we're going to have enough galvanized support for Biden. Like, honestly, y'all, I think I might finally be hitting that wall where I'm like, I actually don't know if I'm going to vote in the presidential election anymore. I've consistently said over the last couple years that it's important for you to still vote so that you can at least have the numbers and say, like, you to be able to point to, like, oh, here's how different the popular vote was from the actual results. But, like, I don't know if I can tolerate voting for Biden. I just don't, like, it's not like I thought that he was going to be good last time, but, like, I don't know, man. I'll have to think about it a little bit more. I live in Kansas, so it's not like my vote fucking matters anyway. I think it was Alejandra Caraballo who was talking about the COS. Biden himself has actually been very outspoken about trans kids. He just keeps saying things, but that's paying lip service, in my opinion. I just don't care about anything that Biden says. I don't care when he says, God, I love ya, to Dylan Mulvaney. Like, fucking do something, you fucking piece of shit. And then, like, the first thing he does meaningfully this year about trans rights is say, oh, well, you're allowed to discriminate against older teenagers, basically. That's essentially, you're allowed to discriminate against older teenagers when it comes to sports. But what can he really do? I don't know, man. Fucking anything. Like, maybe be honest when you're condemning the Republicans. I don't know, man. Yeah, you can kill some Jews for now. That's kind of the approach that he's taking. Well, we can talk about a little bit of good news, though. We can talk about a little bit of good news before we wrap up for the night. I vote just because I do not want to live through another 4 years like 2016 to 2020. I mean, like, if you live in Pennsylvania or Ohio or something where it might actually matter, like where your vote matters, but no, I live in a fucked up gerrymandered red state. Yeah, you could leverage the power of the executive and the Senate to pass federal protections for trans people, or fucking try anything. Yeah, Biden and mainstream Dems don't want to they don't want to do politics. They want to perform politics. Remember when they first got into office and they just constantly posted pictures of them walking purposefully to different places? I vote simply because I regretted not voting once. Yeah. I mean, I'll probably continue to vote for Biden. Like, if he ends up being the nominee, which he probably will for 2024, I guess I'll probably vote for him. I'm just gonna be upset about it. I'm still here. The camera is just being stupid. You know how you were cool for like several months and then you started doing this shit again? And now it's not even resetting itself. Yeah? Can you maybe calm the fuck down, dude? For serious, I really don't understand what the difference is. Is it overheating? Maybe it's overheating. Hello. Hello. It's you. Hello. Anyway. Is that really, like, way too intimate? Like, hello. I'm just gonna touch your face. I'm touching your face. I don't know why, but I liked that a lot. Yeah. It's a kind of intimate moment. Okay, I need to drink more water. And then I'll be back. I'm a thirsty boy, okay? I'm very thirsty. As an ASM artist, an ASM artist I follow actually asks consent before touching the camera. If Biden keeps this up, I'll definitely be leaving the country. I used to think maybe if the Republicans start losing power, I could stay. But if this is the Democrats' plan, I'm out of here. I've told my teen siblings, like, okay, I'm going to have you guys come live with me when you're in like a year or whatever. And we can all decide together whether we're going to leave the country or whatever. So it just kind of seems like inevitable that that's going to be the way things have to go. Or at the very minimum, moving up to Seattle so that I can be around queer community who will help us and help us be safe and things. Excuse me. Oh my God, I'm so belchy. A burpy boy. A burpy boy. Anyway. I have a tiny house you can hide in my attic. Wisconsin. We spoke to some people about Wisconsin a few weeks ago. I've been participating in some streams with Progressive Victory, and the goal of those streams is we want to bring attention to various candidacies across the country, various elections happening, and we want to try to funnel people into helping by doing phone banking or text banking, potentially even canvassing door to door, getting people volunteering and involved. And the last time we did this kind of group call thing, we talked to some folks who were actually doing work on the ground to kind of hear about their experience. Like, have you made any friends? You know, how has this been for you? Have you found that it was scary or whatever? Or did you think that it was pretty good? And we had some good conversations, learned a lot about what it's like on the ground to actually do this kind of volunteer work. And it sounds really good. And so I would like to think that our participation in that helped get the result that we were going for in Wisconsin. Because this most recent panel that I was on, the point of it was that there was a Supreme Court seat up for election in Wisconsin. And there were a couple key reasons why this was important. Like, Wisconsin Supreme Court was one of or maybe the Supreme Court that determined a election issue in the last presidential election. So they very narrowly voted to confirm the vote of the people, I think is what happened. So the person who resigned, or who, you know, the seat just was up for re-election, they were a swing seat, I think was like, oh, we are not sure how this person's going to vote, could potentially be an issue. And the two people who were running, one of them was a very clear conservative judge, and one of them was a very clear progressive judge. Like, one of them has talked about abortion rights and things like this. And so that was one of the other issues within the state of Wisconsin. Like, on a national level, this Wisconsin election was important because this could determine the result of our next presidential election. But there's also a really old anti-abortion law on the books from like 1800s that Janet, we could assume that Janet Protasewicz, who is the one who won, she could potentially like fix that and really rule against that law. So Janet Protasewicz won. We helped. We did it. High fives. Round of applause. We did it. We helped. For sure. I you know, if anyone from this community did any phone banking or anything, you for sure helped. And hopefully just bringing attention to it helped, you know, get people motivated and out there voting. Let's see. Yeah, and she won by a significant portion. Yo, you win first YouTuber to pronounce Protasewicz correctly on the first try. I was briefed on how to say it correctly. Here's the thing. When I do these Progressive Victory Fund things, or Progressive Victory Fund, I don't know why I always want to say fund, these Progressive Victory campaigns, there's always like a little bit of a press briefing for me. So they actually included like a little parentheses, here's how you say it. And so I made a point to, it's, you know, I get a little bit of media prep for these things. But she won by 11 points, which is crazy. Like in place where a lot of elections come down 50-50. Like in Wisconsin, the population is more or less 50-50 actually split that way. And yeah, she won by 11 points. 11 points, 55% versus 44%. So success, we did it, we win. Fucking amen, y'all. Oh my God, these have just tied themselves in the worst knot that they've ever been in. Why would you do such a thing? Why would you do this to me? Okay, good. Here we go. Okay, what's one of these things? So here's a little video of her acceptance speech. Oh wait, can I not hear it? Wait, where is the volume? Okay, her acceptance speech. Here it is. Boom.
For all of us. You have entrusted me with great responsibility, and I will treat the role with the highest degree of integrity. I will bring the fairness and impartiality that you have all been waiting for. And I will be a part of the solution to make our Supreme Court, along with my soon-to-be new colleagues, right here.
This is really nice. Like, I feel like the atmosphere is definitely one of positivity here. I like that. Like celebrating with the other women on the court. We love this.
Something that you will always feel proud of.
She does have sick glasses too. You're absolutely right. She has the sickest glasses. Compared to that, you know, really graceful, really positive moment, the guy that she beat, Daniel Kelly. Oh, she just took her glasses off. Yeah. Comparatively, he is throwing a little tantrum. He is throwing a little bit of a tantrum. So let's watch this absolute loser. Conservative loser. Oh, hold on, wait. Before we go into that, I do just want to say that apparently one of the major things that Daniel Kelly did was post a bunch of anti-trans ads online. Like an American Principal Project PAC video ad highlights a lawsuit against the Eau Claire Area School District in which anonymous parents challenged administrative guidance for supporting trans and GNC students. A judge dismissed the suit in March 2023 for lack of standing and evidence, prompting the parents to appeal. Eau Claire School Board President Tim Norden says the ad is part of a nationwide effort, quote, to make people afraid or angry, or frankly, confuse them or believe things that are false in order to get them to go out and vote at the expense of trans youth. So this guy Daniel Kelly basically ran a lot of his ads on like, oh, trans people scary, no trans people. When this comes, the implication is that, oh, when this case, which has been now appealed, comes to the Supreme Court, or wait, yeah, I don't know, whatever. But he's basically implying that when trans issues come to the Wisconsin Supreme Court, he's gonna vote to protect children, which is a very genuine thing that they actually care about. But so, do you think he lost gracefully? We're gonna find out if he lost gracefully. I think the spoiler is that he did not. He's not losing gracefully. Here we go.
And it brings me no joy to say this. I wish that in a circumstance like this, I would be able to concede to a worthy opponent. But I do not have a worthy opponent to which I can concede.
That's so rude. That's so salty. Like, it's so rude. He's like, I don't have a worthy opponent to concede to. Wow. What a petty bitch.
This was the most deeply deceitful, dishonorable, despicable campaign I have ever seen run for the courts.
The room does not approve.
It was truly beneath contempt. Now I say this not because we did not prevail. I do not say this because of the rancid slanders that were launched against me, although that was bad enough. But that is not my concern. My concern is the damage done to the institution of the court.
Oh yeah, is that what you're worried about?
My opponent is a serial liar. She's
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess people in the chat are people in the chat. People in the audience are like, "Yep, she's a liar," even though she's been like pretty consistent with her voting record.
disregarded judicial ethics. She's demeaned the judiciary with her behavior. And this is the future that we have to look forward to in Wisconsin.
Cry harder, dude.
I've been committed to the rule of law my entire career. I understand this to be the most fundamental, basic promise of civilization. And in its heart, it lives in the judiciary, and if not there, nowhere at all. We've had this laid out plainly for us. We could have the rule of law or the rule of Janet. And the people of Wisconsin have chosen the rule of Janet.
By 11 points, you crybaby! By 11 points. They didn't want you. Good fucking Christ. Yeah, like what? Yeah, democracy still exists and I'm not good at it. Like, can you imagine being that big of a crybaby? I don't think I've ever met anyone who would lose that sorely. The rule of Janet. Damn it, Janet. Wow. I don't even know if I have much else to add except like, you ran on an anti-trans platform and you lost to the pro-abortion candidate. Like, sorry, nobody cares about conservatives anymore. You're a clown. Nobody likes you. Nobody wants to play with you. Nobody wants to sit with you. Go home. Take your toys and go. Take your ball and go home. I love how he just said that with a straight face, like the rule of Janet is not an objectively hilarious thing to say. What a snowflake. Yeah, I thought that I was the theater gay. True, Hellhound. It's super ironic that he is also undermining the rule of law by giving this ass-clownish speech. Like, as though, you know, gracefully conceding is not part of a functional democracy. Like, no, they won't even do that much. I hope he becomes a lolcow when the conservative cringe videos really start dominating the internet. I do kind of think that that's the best thing that we can do against these people is to ridicule them as intensely as humanly possible. I really don't even know what else we could possibly do. It just seems like that's the only way to handle this, is to take the teeth out of their movement by making them seem completely ridiculous. I've been committed to the rule of law. Guessing that means he's been committed to systemic racism then. Yeah, the other part of that I don't get is he's like, all of the good things that exist in humanity are sourced in the courts and in the judiciary. Like, maybe that, you know, the sentence just didn't come across to me very well. I kind of lost what the fuck he was trying to say there. What's up, Bomic? Good morning. Welcome to the chat. I don't know if you've been here before, so welcome in. Kelly saying how long he's been committed to law screams white man entitlement. I just think it's really I think it's really weird when people wrap up their whole personality in trying to, like, be committed to the rule of law. Like, why? I just really wish that people would stop investing themselves in bureaucracy as though the bureaucracy itself has value, because it totally doesn't. What was this about, this link? Who is this? Sabine Hassenfelder. Why does she have 800,000 subscribers? You can tell he felt entitled to winning this seat. He feels personally slighted because he failed to win a prize. It really does. Like, he took it so personally. He's like, how dare you not vote for me? I'm gonna say that my opponent doesn't care about the rule of law. That's how upset that I am. Whatever. Big Riley Grace energy. How is old RGR doing lately? She has me blocked on Twitter. I could go on my alt, but that would be more effort than I feel is warranted. Certainly, she's committed to doing her actual politics stuff in Maryland, so, you know, probably she's out there actively making life harder for non-passing trans people or something like that. She's a well-known German scientist slash physicist. Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't really have 16 minutes to give to this woman right now, though. It's getting late at night. A lot of the time I stop streaming by 9 p.m. My voice hurts. Yo, the fucking allergies this year, y'all. Is anybody else having the fucking allergy symptoms already? Like, my throat hurts, man. Like, it just doesn't feel good. Dolores Umbridge is actually J.K. Rowling herself. True. Sabine Hassenfelder is a science chick who talks some social issues. She has said nice things on trans athletes. Okay. Yeah, currently drowning in mucus. My eyes are on fire. Oh, the trees are finally awake. Yay. I did finally, like, seal one of my windows more properly so that there's not wind just going, like, through the cracks in the window. So hopefully, you know, my air inside my house is gonna be a little bit less shit. I need to get a HEPA filter. Allergies are awful here. Yeah. It's annoying. It sucks being a nature-loving girl. I know. There are some times where I will wear my N95 out of my apartment, like between my apartment and my car, you know? Because I just don't want to deal with the allergy symptoms. So, yeah, it sucks. It's not the most fun I've ever had. There's like 2 weeks at the beginning of the spring, summer, and 2 weeks in August. I have like mild allergy symptoms basically the entire time of the year that there are trees doing tree stuff. Like, it's just the whole time. So I can't even take, I just don't want to take allergy meds every single day. I have flowering cherry trees, a redbud, and several dogwoods blooming right now in the yard. I think that the issue in, I've heard people talk about these, like, pear trees that are very invasive and they don't, like, serve much purpose in the environment except that they just are invasive and, like, drown out other species and they create, like, a fuck ton of pollen. God, I'm such a hopeless faggot for real. Also, hi. I'm having big Demi feelings lately. Not so much like hopeless faggot feelings, but big Demi, like big I need hugs and comfort sexy times. It's like, I want to flirt with my partner, but I can't. I don't know how. Because it's not like, ooh, do you want to do a fun thing? Like, it's not like that. It's like, hey, do you want to, like, hold my hand? And give me kisses and things like this, you know? It feels so pathetic. I managed to make it after my rehearsal before you ended. Nice! You did it! You made it. Congratulations. Don't forget to hit like. We're way late in the stream, but, you know, that's fine. They still help. I have this problem where I keep randomly developing crushes on all of my fucking male friends. Yeah, big faggot energy for sure. I have more bored ace rage than usual. Oh no. It's not good. Hand-holding, the most naughty of acts. Yeah, it's like, I really am about to try to get my partner to watch House of the Dragon up to episode 4. Or whatever episode it is. Which episode it was. Is it episode 4? Where they have, like, the 2 sex scenes? I mean, and it's like, I literally, this is gonna be like my first video essay. I might actually do the video essay about House of the Dragon's sex scenes and how different they are from all of the other ones. I'm like, how else can I convey? I'm like, I want sex like this. Like this. Normalize men being silly band cute. Is silly band cute a specific kind of cute? Texas has mountain cedar, which is super invasive, rapid growth allergy weed, not like the good cedar. Everyone hates it here. Yeah, I know what kind of flowers the pear trees have, and so I just see them fucking everywhere right now. I'm like, you bastards are the reason why my throat hurts. Hopeless polyfaggot who wants to kiss all of his friends. True, big faggot TM. Excuse me. Oh my god. Oh, silly and cute. Okay, yeah. Normalize men being silly and cute. Everyone in Texas hates it here. Not sure what that has to do with the cedar, though. Sometimes I remind myself a lot when getting feelings like that is we are not human beings having a spiritual experience, but spiritual beings having a human experience. Yeah, I mean, I respect other people's beliefs, but I, like, you know, I only will engage with spiritualism, in order to make an argument. Like, I don't actually believe in spiritualism. Ornamental pears are a problem in VA as well. However, they are beautiful when the whole hillside blooms in some places. Just the fucking allergies. I think it's the cherry blossoms here. Are cherry blossoms allergenic? The Bradford pear. That's what it is, Internet Fox. Yes. They're all over Kansas. Like, they're everywhere here. The Bradford pear. Yes. It's so annoying. I'm just gonna complain. My job is to talk. It sucks when my throat hurts. Are the cherry blossoms an allergene, like an allergenic issue in the PNW? I love them, though. They're beautiful. Are you behind slightly, Internet Fox? Yeah, no worries. I don't mean in a religious, spiritual sense, but that feeling of connection to everything everyone has. Yeah, I mean, the word spiritual is just such a tricky word because it means so many different things to so many different people. I guess, like, people usually mean when they're referring to spirituality, they're referring to that, like, overwhelmingly strong sense of oneness and connection that you tend to feel toward other living things. It's just the most noticeable and bright flower, so I just assumed. Yeah, I hope that sakura are not an allergen because they're so pretty. Although they're not, is cherry blossom trees, are they bad to plant near your houses because of the root system, or is that just willows? Oh, I should have set up to talk about Iroh. Oh, I'll have to save that for Sunday. Oh, I'll have to put that in my notes and save it for Sunday. Uncle Iroh's most recent actor said some stuff in support of trans people. Very based and red-pilled. I should be doing my show on Sunday. I'm supposed to have the teenagers this weekend, but I'm going to try to give them over to my partner if he's willing to teach them how to build a computer or something along those lines. But I'm still planning on streaming Sunday, assuming that nothing goes weird with that. Based on Iroh pilled. Yeah! So I gotta talk about that next time. Iroh being anti-turf. Excellent. there's this invasive yellow bush called Scotch broom that's really gnarly in the valley. Scotch broom is such a scourge in California. I'm like, who owns all this land? Like, I'm driving down the street and I see all these fucking Bradford pears all over the place. And I'm like, whose land is this? Can someone, like, someday I hope that I see a truck along this road and, like, they're cutting down the trees and then they're using the truck to, like, winch out the roots of the tree. Like, can please? Like, what needs to happen on a broad scale? I just Googled and it said that cherry blossoms get blamed a lot but aren't very allergenic. That's good to know. So I can still plant cherry blossoms near my house when I'm definitely not going to own a house. I don't know. I guess that would be cool if I could earn enough money to own a house, but it feels weird to be like, I'm a leftist and like because I make my money off of donations, it would be weird to go make enough money to own a house. Like, it feels like I should redistribute all my wealth if I get to a point where I could own a house. Time for the estrogen shot. Yes, I need to do my tea shot. I'm a little bit late. I would let a willow ruin my house. I don't care. They deserve it. They're so pretty. I would plant dozens. It's the plumbing. Like, do you want to have a working toilet, Nuvenal? Because that's the thing. All you need to do to buy a house is a little bit of money and a willingness to be forced into crippling debt for 3 decades. Oh man, I never thought about what that would do to your credit limit. Or like, because it's like you simultaneously get a credit limit of like several $100,000, but then you also have maxed out that credit limit and you have to pay it down. Oh man, that would fuck your credit score up so much. I've just learned how to build credit, y'all. It's fun. I love knowing how to build credit. Yeah, the willows ruin the roots. Or willow roots ruin the pipes in the ground. Yes. I want to have plum trees in my backyard. I have enough land to plant like 4. Oh, God. I'm so jealous. I made mine under 8K with the shed I used as a shell. I don't want to live in a tiny house. That sounds like a fucking nightmare. I live in a really small, like, apartment, basically, right now. It's like, I guess, the perfect size for me. And so if I lived in a tiny house, I would feel, like, insane. There should be, like, I need, like, a bit of separation. I need at least a curtain or something separating my bedroom from my workspace. And I feel like that's really hard to do when you are in a tiny little house, you know? I've lived in a 400 square foot tiny house type thing before and it fucking sucked. Plums are a conspiracy made up by Big Prune. Yeah, I bought a house a year and a half ago and my credit score only just got back to where it was when I bought. Yeah. That's an interesting thing, too. It's like credit is a thing that you have to earn and then spend, kind of. Like, you earn credit. You know, like, my credit score had just gotten over 700, and then I applied for 2 credit cards, and I got one of them, but I didn't get the other, and that knocked my score back below 700. And so, like, I have to then earn it back to then get above 700 so that I can then apply for more credit cards or whatever, or a loan or whatever. Have you ever looked into natural herbal antihistamines? No, none of those products are regulated. Although I guess as a witchy person, I could be interested. I'm probably never going to be able to own a house. Best I can hope for is some kind of co-op. You know, if Vosh ever buys a mansion and wants to sell a room in that mansion, I might buy that. Yeah, it wasn't the owning the house that's a problem. It's the fact that you borrow a bunch of money in order to do it. Like, when you get a mortgage, like, right now my credit limit is like $2,000. And the goal is to spend less than 7% of that at any one time. And so your available credit goes up and down each month depending on like how much you've used your credit card or whatever. So once you get a mortgage, that's a big loan. So if I got a mortgage for $100,000 house, all of a sudden my total credit limit would be $102,000. Sorry, $102,000. So, but then I would be using like 99% of my total credit limit. So, it's like that will knock your score. If you're using most of your available credit, it's supposed to be better if you're using less of it. So that's one of the things that sucks about getting a big loan. Just whatever you do, don't buy one of those anti-5G necklaces, since those literally have radiation in them that makes people get sick. Oh my god, really? I didn't hear about that. I made mine one big room that's 12 by 16 with curtain tracks in the ceiling. Yeah, 12 by 16 sounds like a fucking nightmarishly small space. To me. I mean, I'm glad that it works for other people, but it sounds terrible to me. Anti-5G necklaces found to be radioactive. No. Did someone try to take a picture of one? And that's how we found out? Oh no. Oh my god, excuse me. Excuse me again. Holy fucking shit. So I'm just working my way up to buying a bed in a couple months. I just want to get like the good bed. And that'll be yet another credit line that I have open. You only get one? I only get one? You only get one shot. Do not miss the chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. And when I have an extra bed, I'll give it to one of my siblings. The state of private lets in the UK isn't great right now. It's around £700 quid per month where I live in the UK for a one bed flat and social housing provided, but the council is cheap. It's not good. There's very few available. It really depends on where you live here in the United States. It depends on where you live locally, what the prices are like. But, you know, I saw a 3-bedroom house recently going for like $2,000 for rental. And I was like, wow, that seems like a lot for this area. Like in Kansas, the cost of living is not very high here compared to other places, rent-wise. But yeah, like my short-term goal is making enough money to be able to afford like a 3-bedroom place so that my siblings can live with me by this time next year is kind of like the immediate goal. Like I'm assuming that by this time next year, I will be living with them or I will be immediately facilitating living with them imminently. Yay! Trying to make long-term plans is always so fun. I mean, the cool thing is, though, that, like, they're both... I'm going to be able to set them up to have good credit, so they won't have to do what I'm doing, which is wait until they're fucking 29 to have decent credit. So, you know, at least they will have the ability to have help. Yeah, $2,000 is a lot for a 3-bedroom here. Like, I would say... You know, $1,000 for a 2-bedroom would be a lot here as well. Or at least that feels like a lot to me, but maybe it's just because I'm super poor. I don't know. But the minimum wage in Kansas is $7.25. You want 3 bedrooms but don't even have one bed? I do have one bed. It's just not the bed that I want. I have a bed. Oh my god, I actually love my bed. It's not the bed that I want, but it's so good. And then I'll have 2 beds. Credit cards are insidious. Like, I used to be super on top of paying off mine, but then I got into some medical debt, fairly minor, like $3K, and I've been paying hella interest. Oh yeah, so that's the thing, Foxgloved. That's the mistake that you made, is don't pay your medical bills. Like, just don't pay them. Just don't. Like, and especially don't pay them on credit. Holy fuck. It would be so much better to have, like, that debt get sold off to someone else than it is for you to immediately hold that debt through your credit cards. Holy shit, dude. Would you say that genuine stress about life essentials defines who is poor, or do you think people who are better off than poor also feel that fear? I think that the fear that we feel is kind of similar, but there is a different fear when you don't know when your next meal is coming versus, like, the sensation that, you know, maybe you need to make sure you don't miss too many days of work this year because you might lose the house. You know, like, it's a similar type of anxiety, but I definitely think it's different. Just saw a news article. Supreme Court denied West Virginia's request to enforce their sport ban. Well, that's good. At least a little bit of something good happening with Biden's little executive order or whatever the fuck. Anyway, my voice hurts, y'all. I gotta finish cleaning my apartment in preparation for having 2 scamps. I'm gonna have 2 teenagers in my apartment tomorrow. So, thank you all for hanging out with me. I am ready to chill the fuck out and be very busy for a couple days. And then I will see you all on Sunday. Unless something crazy happens. So, good night, my sweet horties. Be good, or at least, don't get caught.